Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Well, actually, what am I even saying? Good morning. It's more like it's. How can you tell I'm on autopilot? I say good morning there. Yeah, it's pretty much anything but morning right now. We have Dota though, right here. Well, actually, it hasn't loaded in yet, which is kind of crazy. I'm actually quite surprised. We will not be playing. The input delay is still there, but we will study Dota. We will look at other people play Dota. That's pretty much it. Is she playing with Lair? Oh my god, she is playing with Lair GG. Oh my god. Uh, we're gonna look at Mike here. But anyway, I would play. Trust me, I would. But at the end of the day, I got hair in my mouth. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, we still have had some balance patches. Well, I say balances, but some fixes. I know we have overlay on. That's why I'm doing this now. This is what you get. This is exactly why I'm setting up my phone so I can. It's an easier way for me to notice. We've had balance. Why do I keep saying balance? We've had system changes, fixes, if you will, and the input delay has not been fixed yet, sadly. So it is what it is. I've tested it here in the morning before I started making a video. That's gonna be the first video. There you go. That's gonna be the first video in a while. That okay. That's gonna be the first video I've done in a while. It's not a big one. It's literally just like a replay of our game where I played Emperor. So I would like cut very. I don't want to say sloppily, but I haven't even really made many transitions or anything. As in like you can do fade transition and stuff. It was the first time I used DaVinci. I actually really liked it. It seems like a really good editing software actually, and it has pretty much everything I need, just the free version. And holy shit. Rendering a video in like 131 is insane. I'm not used to that speed. I figured I would render a lot faster, but I didn't think I would render that much faster with my new PC. But hey, I've been humbled a bit. Lo and behold, in the end, I'm in a video. Yeah, you are. I think I cut out your chatter though. Oh, I can't remember. You're definitely in the video though. Like I tend to like cut out a lot of like my own chatter as well if I just like talk or something. I think there's a team fight where you can be heard because you're like. There's a moment where you're saying like you start talking with Anti-Mage because he's weird. Your time for once? What do you mean your time? This is like very common streaming time for me. Hello Duck, by the way. Hater of Weaver, enjoyer of Meepo apparently, which renders everything mute. Oh my god, here he comes. I mean, if he gets 2 kills here, it's worth it. That is actually kind of worth it. That's a tough one. It depends if he survives or not. Lo, you usually start streaming at 5:00, but today you're streaming at 8:00. Yeah, but I start earlier, but I'm still streaming at. I suppose you're right in like saying you're. The problem was that you said you're streaming at my time. It's like I always stream at your time. You probably just don't catch the start of it. Wording is important here. I was like, what? I always stream at this point. Just not always on Saturdays. I phrased that wrong. This is what confused me. You're good, you're good. Now, you usually don't catch the start of my streams, that's true. That's because I was, like, busy rendering a video. And being very flamboyant with Mike, apparently. Oh, we're watching Mike. Le Timbersaw. Again, like I said, they haven't fixed the input delay yet. And I really... The worst part is, like, I never knew this is how I wanted it, right? I really want to play Dota. Like, I actually have a bit of a... I have a craving. And not just because of a new patch. But I cannot play with this input delay. I looked at the footage of the video that should be up on YouTube today. If you missed that on stream. Of me playing Ember on offlane with Mumu. Oh my god, some of those, like, even watching the footage is tilting. It's just me, like, clicking, and then I act, well, but, like, Ember acts too late and I whiff an attack, creep it. I'm like, oh my god. It's so frustrating. I could really feel it in the Klinks game I played with Tempesty 2, where I tried to dodge Firebirds, like, from Phoenix, and I could not do it. Like, I was being hit by so many Firebirds that shouldn't have hit me. They really gotta change the sound of... I assume that is whip he has, right? Yeah. Because both, I said call it whip for some reason. Ripper Slash and Thing Brigands both have the same sound. Is the input delay for everyone? To my knowledge, I've asked everyone I know and they all say they have it. Kalistar is probably the only one that said he couldn't feel it, and then he was like, not sure, and then he got... Then he got selected, well, he was afraid that I baited him into being like... He wasn't... He started questioning himself, basically, because I was like, no, there's huge input delay, dude. Mumu says she thinks it's based on when you play. Because Mumu plays at 5 AM at night, her time, and says it felt better there, but when more people are online, it starts to feel worse. I can't really speak about that. All I can tell you is I tried different servers, I demoed the terrain, I've demoed the demo mode, and as soon as you demo, nothing goes wrong. It's as soon as you are on a server. There is massive input delay for some reason, and it feels bad. So I would assume it's for everyone. I've also tried to verify cache integrity for the game. I very much doubted that would work, and yes, it did not work, because it's not a file problem, it's not even a computer problem, it is a input delay which comes from the server. Because I was thinking maybe it's a new map. No, it's not, because I was like saying the water might be like this might be the culprit or something. It can't be that, because you can demo this terrain, like you can play a demo on this terrain, it works just fine. There's literally no input delay. It's only as soon as you boot up a server. I tried Europe West, lag, or input delay. I tried Stockholm, input delay. I tried Brazil. I had input delay and 250 ping, and I was like, okay, it's just, you know, because that was is actually kind of not necessary, but like kind of good, because like you got more stacks out of it for a while anyway. And there's almost no reason not to just use Winter's Curse, honestly. But yeah, input delay. Kalistar was saying that it might be a server issue, so that's why I checked that, because he runs tournaments and stuff, and he said the pros hadn't been complaining about it, but there's like some pro recently that said, no, it's really, really bad in Dream League. And like I've said, well, considering how much of a problem something like input delay is, like that's a... Like when you do bug fixing, you basically bundle bugs in different baskets. Like let's just call them 1 to 5. 5 bugs are not very important. That's like hair missing on Invoker or something. And 1 bug is like the game is unplayable. This is like a tier 1 or 2 bug. Like this is something you want to fix pretty damn badly, because the game isn't running as it should, and it's for everyone. It's not even like just 2% of people. It seems to be everyone that has this. So the fact that they haven't fixed it yet, and I know people will like be like, oh, Valve lazy. It's like, yes, but Valve tend to be pretty damn good at fixing this kind of stuff in particular pretty fast. And it's something they would release a small hotfix for. The fact they haven't done it yet suggests to me that there's a bigger underlying issue. We just don't know what it is. Like I said on like I wrote on a Reddit thread also complaining about it. I said these exact things as like I think it's a bigger thing going on because else it would be fixed by now. And at the very least, it would be interesting if they, you know, if they make a between the lanes on this sort of stuff. If they have like a blog post thing they do at times. It would be cool if they did like a blog post of what happened here, like, you know, what actually caused this kind of lag to come up. I think. I don't know. I find stuff like that fascinating after all. Like really obscure bugs. Like how did you randomly make it so Chen could convert Roshan in one patch, right? Like how? What kind of string of code did you actually manage to mess up so badly that Roche could be, you know? Because I would imagine Roche had his own string of code or something, but nah. Show someone yesterday? Yeah, no, it will happen. There's also a clip on Reddit where Shadow Shaman gets duel and he literally gets saved because it happens in Roche Pit and Legion gets picked up and tossed away. No, it will actually happen. Like I guarantee you at some point it's gonna happen in a pro game randomly, like in Dream League or something, or has happened because like it's kind of new and you don't think about it when like, you know, on average. On average, you don't think like, oh my god, Roche is coming through the river now. Maybe like, you know, if we have the patch for X amount of time, but it's not something you've ever really had to worry about. And him walking before wasn't as big of a deal because like he literally walks from one portal and you know exactly when it will happen. You do now too as well, but he went from one portal through another portal and into his pit. Now he goes through the entire river. That's a large section and there can be a very elongated team fight there and he could actually grab and mess people up. It's one of those changes where I'm like, I'm not like against it or anything, but it's just, it is one of those like Valve having fun things, I feel. It's not an important change, if you will. I don't even really think it's a fun change. I just think it's a change. But I've decided to like just take the changes they make to the game with a grain of salt, or like a, you know, just it is what it is. I wish they would focus more on certain other aspects, but we get what we get. And like I also said, heck, if they don't have fun making the game, then, you know, then they would also stop developing the game, right? Valve is very like that. Valve is an artist, as I've said. They're very fickle. That's exactly how you use Herald there. Just don't be afraid of just solo ulting. It's really strong. That's exactly the kind of stuff I hate. That right there. Extra gimmicks. For the sake of gimmicks. Like, I don't like this whole... I don't think it makes that much of a deal, but like I don't like this whole like running 30 faster because it's just such a meme. But hey, they did remove the buffs from here and here and here and here, which was weird. I think people forget that. Like you don't get regen up here anymore in health, and you don't get mana regen here. It was a weird thing. I said when I covered that patch, I was like, this feels like they're gonna do more with the map. Maybe you control areas or something, and like I was wrong, but also right. I guess. You do get like a thing for controlling this area, you get to move faster through the river. I feel like I remember how I covered that and I was more open-minded at that point. Well, not open-minded, but like more, we needed something different, but now I just want... It's basically what happened with Monster Hunter, really almost exactly, where it's like, I could go for a crazy Monster Hunter. Then I got Crazy Monster Hunter and I loved it. Until I didn't, and I was like, I want to go back to basics and just Refination. The beautiful part is that's exactly what Wilds is, and that's why I love it so much. Meanwhile, I feel like Dota's just trying to one-up itself in gimmicks. So. Hawk Champ, dude. I feel like the first Tormentor is much stronger than before, but it's weaker. It has a lower shield. The only thing that's slightly stronger is its Radiance Burn is stronger. Like it has like, was instead of 30, it's now 60, but that's it. The Tick Burn is worse and the other This will only hurt a lot. And Mike's camera. He's a man. Also, hey, he is with a brain, that's cool. Dragon Knight still effing hurts, bro. Oh, he actually whiffed it. I'm not sure if he would have had it. It has like a weird arc. Where if you're not completely up in their face, you can actually like do like a Beastmaster axis and whip it. DK and CK? Oh yeah. He's really good against these heroes. Like, he's arguably one of the best heroes you could ask for under these circumstances. He ripped CK a new one in particular, even more than DK because of his illusions just getting shot. You're right, he's not. Good point. I think he's slightly tilted still. 55 minutes now. Mike doesn't play perfect. It's a new. It's also a new, you know, neutral item he's not used to, probably. What 2%? That is strong because it's percentage. Jesus Christ. Like, Mike is extremely good. Don't get me wrong. We all make mistakes. You also see me randomly forget neutral items when I'm too much on a rampage. Like, if I'm running wild with a game, I'll, you know, like these brute games where I just non-stop fighting. It's not uncommon I have a tier 1 or a tier 2 item when there's tier 3. Because the game ends. And I'm just constantly active and I never leave and I just forget. I mean, now it's a bit different, of course, right? But like, now it's a lot harder to mess that up because you have a glowing red thing. Be like, yo, you can upgrade your thing. That's actually maybe the only positive thing I have to say about the new system. It's really hard for you not to see that you can get a new neutral item. Because there's a glowing red FU hammer down in the HUD being like, yup, you can upgrade. They still need to add a keybind to this thing. It's annoying that they haven't. Or have they? Nah, there's no way. I don't think so. They need to. I have all this sort of stuff keybound. Funny enough, I actually don't have a glyph keybound though. Well, actually I do. No, I don't. I had it on some weird key. I really should. I'm very, very particular. I have scan on M, for example. M for map. Yeah, they need to change that. It needs to just have a thing here. Like I said, I have the perfect fix for it. Like, you just press a button and you press 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there you go. So you do it. That hero is still doing too much damage. The Dragon Knight, that is. Dragon Knight still doing what hero is. What? Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is doing too much damage. He's just hammering it home. Yeah, it's Dragon Knight. They fixed his fire thing, but that doesn't matter. He still just does too much damage. And they didn't... It's also the fact that he gets Dragon Tail AoE is just stupid. Like I said yesterday, it's like you can fix him as much as you want. You gave him a 25 talent on his facet. And then I said, like, imagine most other heroes where you just do that as their facet. Like, imagine you just give Visage a facet. It's like he just has one more familiar. Like Visage would be unbelievably broken if you just gave him a familiar and a facet, and that's it. That's the only thing the facet does. Visage now has one more familiar. It's like, well, the hero's now God tier. What are you gonna do? Like, that's 33% more damage. That's 33% more farming speed. That is 33% more stun. Like, that's, well, 1/3%, like 1/3 more reconnaissance if you know how to micro it. It's insane, but like that's what they did. They literally gave him his 25 facet, talent. Sorry, facet. So many keywords. So many forms, dude. So many forms. Not sure how long we'll be streaming for today, of course. Like I said, I would love to play, but there you go. It's like, how do you not see that, right? I actually think this is a very good design, the way they've done this. But they just need to make it so you can go like that. It needs to be very nice and easy. Like, I'll probably bind it to K or something. I have to move my hand and do this, but it's not that bad. Assuming they ever do it. I mean, they really should. It again, for all intents and purposes, let me be completely honest. I am 95% sure this patch is undercooked. As in, like, you know how I feel about the patch. I've had my glow up moments, so now I don't care. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited to play once the input delay is gone. But I mean, like, from a technical perspective, I am so certain the patch wasn't ready for release. There's so many things that aren't ironed out. There's so many bugs this time around. It feels like yes and no. It's completely unrefined. Like, they're basically having the early access approach, you know, where you can play it, but then there's a lot of game-breaking bugs. For all intents and purposes, right now we are playing early access on this patch. Dazzle bugs, DK bug, server crashing. Mike is running it though. Now, there's not on you know, it's not unlikely that happens. Like, you have a few bugs, but like there's a lot this time around. And then there's also just like, ooh, Mike. Go, Mike. Mike is effing dead, dude. Bye. Oh, he's dead. Poor Mike. There's also things like I mentioned when we streamed yesterday that when they reworked Trian and they gave him his new, not Nature's Grasp, the one where he presses Q and he like does divine formation. It looked like shit. It literally looked like a low polygon model they used. So it's like, this seems like they just added in the wrong thing, or it just wasn't done yet. And I remember it made no sound. And it's the same as Dazzle, and I think they haven't fixed it yet. You have to ask Encrypt, he's here. It has no sound. It's clearly meant to have a sound because everything in Dota has very high audio quality. Valve are, I think, the only ones that can compete with Valve on auto clarity is like Blizzard. It's one of the few things that companies still good at. It's just sound design. They're extremely good at sound design. So when you have an important ultimate, you need to be aware of whether it's active or not. And it's just quiet. It's really weird. Like, imagine Sniper's ultimate just having no sound anymore. You can't hear it at all. You can't hear the shot. You can't hear the AVP. You can't hear the nothing. It's just quiet, and then you die. That would be very bad, wouldn't it? It's very strange, but it is fascinating still. And it'll get, of course, like, these are like minor problems. They'll get ironed out. But I just feel like this time around, there's more of them this time. And I'm wondering why, because they haven't done that much different. Like, there's not that much different this time around, I'd say. Mike's camera movement is always weird. He has, like, really high camera speed. I consider myself to have, like, way high camera speed. He's higher than I am. It's not bad if you can control it. That's sad. And disco. Poor Mike. She didn't buy shard yet, that's weird. Yes, Skull Basher, but no shard. We might as well take Timber out of the picture. There really is no real reason not to. Hard game. Also, something about CK, his stats don't really reflect it right now, but his win rate is... Or like, he seems very, very scary, I guess is what I want to say. I saw a bloke on Reddit talk about his new facet, and in a vacuum, it does sound kind of busted. He was playing a 35-minute game, roughly, and the CK came running with a Fallen Sky. Now, that's kind of wild when you think about it, because CK is a hero where I'd argue there's like one item you always want, which is Armlet. And then it's either Bloodthorn or Manta, or both. But I personally, when I play CK, or used to play CK, I need a Blink or a Shadow Blade. It's just how I'm put together. I need to be able to jump someone and get a kill. That won't exactly be an issue if you can just get Fallen Sky at 35 minutes, right? Like, that's just, you get a free Blink Dagger that's also a Meteor Hammer. That's mad. And you get it well before anyone else can get it because you go a step up. Now, the downside with that, of course, is... I mean, it's not 35, is it? But when they get tier 4, you get tier 5. No, it is 35. What am I saying? Like, that is kind of nuts. And you get it 25 minutes before everyone else. The only problem is you're not guaranteed to get it. But yeah, it's kind of wild to give to a hero such a kind of facet. It's probably going to get nerfed. I don't know, how high is this win rate right now? It's very low right now. It has to grow. It has to grow. Because like, there's no way, man. Like, that kind of, you know. There is... Realistically, you finally have a hero that can get to these items very, very reliably. So it will choose... It will... What is it? It always chooses one of your current ones, so... Let's say you have Ogre Seal, and then it'll Ogre Seal and 3 more. So there's far from a guarantee, but most of these items are kind of effing strong, right? Like... Yeah, I could also play him on offlane. I mean, I had a super high win rate with him. He's one of those 75% win rate heroes I had at one point, but that was more like when it was more common to take, like, carries offlane. Like Ursa, Void, CK, you literally could do that offlane. And then you just carried your carry. Sure, he would flame you, and then you'd carry him anyway. I do think you can do it now. In Mike, we believe. Again, still a lot of damage on this goddamn hero. Ooh. Here he comes. Christ. It is good he has a barrier, so he doesn't really get held. And it's not even 35 minutes yet. Ooh. They're holding it. They're not just holding, they're winning. Okay, this will be interesting to see, because we'll see that paradigm shift I was talking about, because there's no way CK will not make use out of that 35-minute timing. It's wild. Recursive doesn't jump if it's an illusion that's around dice. That could be, yeah. Might be too strong. Well, definitely too strong, but... Recursive is super strong. I love playing into it. Poor Mike. It's really, really fun. I poured over the footage for the video today with Ember. It's so nice. You land 2 or 3 really good recursives, and I'm just like waiting for it to like stop. It's really, really juicy. But Wyvern's win rate is also out of control. It's like 54, 55. The only thing is she's a poo-poo laner now compared to before. She's become like a... I call them pay back supports, where laning stage is kind of meh. but the effect the support has in 15-20, like proper mid game, is like very, very high. Like Nyx, for an example, was a payback support, where it's like his laning is awful, he's probably going to grief you, but this is also a hero that can solo kill a core under the right circumstances. And if he does that, then it kind of makes it worth it having him on your team, you know? Meanwhile, you have heroes like Jakiro that are just very consistent throughout the entire game, because like he's good early and he's good in mid-late game, so. Dota used to be a lot more than that. Like almost every hero in the game back then, there was like no one that was strong at all stages of the game, basically. Now a lot of the roster is. Kez, for example. I mean, Kez now is kind of... He is not very strong, honestly. But before the nerf, Kez didn't have a downside. Kez was strong at all stages of the game. There was not a single point where he was bad. Yep. Zeus is also really become like strong at all stages. You quite like the boxing gloves. What do you call it? Gunpowder gauntlet. Yeah, I'll call her. That's Petrify, yeah. It's Desecrate, yeah. Desecrate needs more people next to it to pop off. I think it's like 3 or more, and it'll do it. Base armor reduction 50%. That's crazy. What I mentioned. Yeah, I didn't think Lysrac would earn so many, considering they mucked up Bloodstone, and just in general they changed how much you get for spell lifesteal. I could really feel it when I played Ember. Again, we literally sat for a half an hour just doing calculations, because I was like, is this working as intended? It is. I just wasn't certain. Where's my boy? Where's the main character? Also, yeah, this camp, so important, honestly. I really think the dynamic of this will change a lot in the coming months. Mike writing. He says he loves Shiva. I'm like, yep. Shiva's one of my favorite items. Like, literally, huge buff to team plus self. Huge debuff to enemy team. Both active and passive. Crazy good item. Very affordable, good build up. A lot of mana fixes with it. Your middle tower is under attack. Enemy's bottom tower. Here it comes. Go, Mike. Right, what neutral items does CK have? He has Pirate Hat. I think that's a huge mistake. I think, I'm not allowed to swear. I think Lord Farquaad over here, he forgot that it doesn't have attack speed anymore. Like, it used to have, was it 200 attack speed? Or maybe he just really, really wanted gold. I don't know. That seems like a complete oversight. Literally, that has to be maybe one of the worst things he could have picked. Hang on a moment, in my opinion. I don't know what he got offered, of course, but... Like, Spider Leg, I would argue, would have been better. Stygian, especially Fallen Sky. Especially Fallen Sky is, like, probably the nuttiest one he could get. There was a bug? That's been fixed. Maybe that is why, yeah, you never know. Like, clearly you can tell a lot of people are tryharding because, like, look at the picks, right? Like, Dragonite, come on. If you're picking Dragonite unranked, you're trying to prove something to yourself. Why do you consistently drop your phone? What was I told you last time you said it? Get a grip on it or something, like buy a thing so it doesn't happen. You must break plenty of monitors like that way. No, this is unranked. I could probably type go rank to Mike and he'll do it. I'm not sure what it... Well, actually, I think he's 6'5". I probably don't want to put him on through that. Player draft his ass. It's very molding, so... Need to get back myself. But again, as soon as I fix the input delay, we'll go Mogger mode ourselves. I have prepped, after all. It's so strong. And it also just lasts so long now when it recurses. That was illusions as well. I'm good against him. I mean, he'll get nerfed. What can you do? He's literally... I said this day one, there's absolutely no effing way that DK isn't a bad hero a month from now. He's gonna get Giga rubbed. What the hell? These people are actually playing kind of solid. The Yules wasn't very lucky though. I think that was up here. Wyvern's gonna get nerfed absolutely. Like they'll increase the cooldown if you use that faster or something. Oh, he was the one that, yeah, that kind of messed up things then. It's just so strong. Yeah, it is very strong. But her other passive is really good too. Have you seen the thing? It's I think it's 60%. Cold Embrace can be cast on buildings, whatever. Does not heal buildings, whatever. Allied units and buildings gain bonus damage attack when emerging from the icy cocoon. 60% for 6 seconds. That's crazy. It's Mike. It's crazy. Like, there are so many potentials with that. Do that on Ember before he fits. Do that on a Kunkka before he goes glush. Like, you could quite literally do it on Kunkka. He X-March jumps in and he just goes pop with 60%. Like, that's a huge modifier. Or a Wraith King, like, there's a lot of ways where you could make that absolutely cruel. You just use it as like a short buff. Like, yeah, you won't have it for defensive purposes. And of course you won't have recursive, but I mean, I think both her passives are really, really strong in their own right. It's mad. Mike just, Mike's venting. Poor guy. We're quite similar. Neither of us like it. Blame him though. You asked me what you needed to do to win. I said play Wyvern, and you played it and you won a lot. Good hero. Also, Wyvern is one of those heroes. It's kind of like Violent Visage as well, right? They can never really like balance Wyvern. She just goes in and out of being broken all the time. She's gone through 3 or 4 different iterations of being broken the past 5 years. She was a heal bot that had like 50k healing in most matches. Then she was a solo kill everything bot with her ult because she just went Bloodthorn. Now she's back to sort of that. Like, she very commonly ends up being broken in these patches. That's naked on her. That's bloody, dude. This is not a win. Oh! That was not the best. Unless Mike does Mike things. I doubt it. There's no way. She still doesn't have a shard. What? You literally have shard and Mike's dead now because you... Yeah, whatever. He's dead anyway, but it's just a weird thing. Oh well. Oh, I did. Poor Mike. Ah. Mike just needs to bottom down again. Not sure where to put Slark. His win rate is, or he's been picked in pro and stuff. I think his win rate went up, but... Yeah, it's not terrible. you could make work with that. Again, Slarg is, I'd arguably say, Slarg is like almost a semi-specialist hero. He's very finicky. Like, it takes a lot of things. You really should use forced movement with him. I don't. I really should, honestly. It helps with going against cliffs and not missing jumps and things. It's a thing you can put on. So you go in a straight line and it does not take Sapping of a Storm. It doesn't take, what do you call it? Yeah. It doesn't take the AI of pathfinding. It doesn't take pathfinding into account. Helps it shit ton. Because like randomly someone can be blocking your path and you press W and then Slarg turns 50 degrees and just goes. He's going again. Well, we're looking exactly right now. My boy, what happened? It's sad too because I was gonna play Visage for you guys. I have been cooking something. I don't have a finalized build yet, but yeah. I love that when Visage, this is so typical Visage, his pick rate goes down, his ban rate goes down, and his win rate is like plus. It's awesome. But yeah, I plan on basically playing him with Sepulture again. I just need to figure out the best way to play into it because they changed Gleipnir. I like that change a lot. But other than that, I would actually have gone back to the 33 build with him, but the only option there would be to go Mjolnir, which I inherently honestly don't think is bad on Visage at all. I know that might be considered blasphemous, but he's a very tanky hero and you can like really make use out of it with your shard and everything, a bit like a Radiance, but it's a bit much. And then I thought to myself, well, considering that they straight up just buffed Sepulture with 25%, it used to be 75 negative, now it's 50. So every additional creep counts for 25% more, which is really, really good. I figured you could probably just rush Vlads again, and it would probably pay dividends for the birds, because they hit that much faster. So, also, issue with Sepulture is that it doesn't really do anything for you if you're hunting kills, and unless you literally like find a carry that's farming something, right? Or like on top of creep wave or in a jungle camp. If you find some lone support warding, you're not going to be able to get any additional speed from it. Not that W would have helped you at all, but like, again, bonus gold. What I've said is like, it just feels really bad to play Visage and play with Death Toll and not getting value from Death Toll. I've also gone on record to talk about how when you take a facet and what makes a facet viable enough, hello Mike, you need to like look at the activeness of a facet. So for example, if we look away from Faithful Followers because it doesn't exist, it's just don't pick it. Death Toll is only active when you have W and you get kills with it. Sepulture is always active throughout pretty much the entire game because it's just press Q, which you're doing way more than you're pressing W anyway. So it has more active time. So at that point, you have to weigh the options of like, well, which one gives more value then? And then the answer is, it depends, because we're playing Dota. Death Toll was amazing because you could achieve aura items faster than an alchemist because of how much money you were getting, which you still are. They just made it a lot worse because it records a kill differently, and they also significantly nerfed aura items, so that also made it worse. And now they've actually seriously buffed Sepulture, so you know. And I always prefer to play with Sepulture anyway, so I'm excited. That's when I had the highest win rate with him. I actually started having a low win rate with him when they introduced Death Toll. Right in the beginning, yeah, I had a high win rate, but as soon as they nerfed aura items, it started crawling down a lot. Daddy Visage, close. I'm gonna get 30 on him at this point. I was confused. I don't understand if we're gonna. Yeah, I was actually quite mad until I until checked. All right, Mike. Also asked a friend of mine. Also asked delay. Seems to be like very ubiquitous. Sadly. It is what it is. Like I said, they'll have it fixed. And hey, I really that was basically that's Valve's long con is they just took away the thing. Like being the friendly boy that he is. But yeah, if I want to do like a build akin to like the Lycan guide, I say guide because it was like not a public thing. The 30-page Lycan guide I made for myself, basically. I would have to sit and test things. Remember, I literally sat for at least I've spent 10 or 15 hours on that guide. If that has to be more than that now. Like, I also luckily increased the range again. For an example, I am curious. But I was thinking of actually going thing on him here. It's good to see Orb of Blight finally building into more than one item. It could only build into this as Pantavro. Like legit, I think that might actually be worth it. So if we go, I'm curious, we're gonna do 3 takes here. It's kind of weird though, because like the birds have to be in here. Or I could also get a DPS, but and then that. That is a significant damage increase just from -3 armor. To be fair, this is not fair because this is a target that has 0. I should have given it a little bit more. So we'll keep it at what it is. Then both of them, because I'm not going to do it all over again. It's kind of massive jumps in damage. You could do some wild stuff, that's for sure. I didn't feel satisfied from that game. Also, nice FF16. Is it? FF16? Oh, you're right, it is. I haven't played it. I've heard it's very weird. You also said it was weird. I haven't played it. Last Final Fantasy I played was... Heck, I don't even know. Online, I guess? Shadowbringers? Love me Shadowbringers. Simple as. Never did play Dawnbreaker. Well, Dawntrail and Endwalker. I'm actually annoyed I didn't get complete Endwalker because people are just praising the shit out of it. Not so much Dawntrail. That's the last one I did. Final Fantasy as a series is not, on average, that interesting to me anymore. I don't think they've released too many great games besides the online. Like the boy band thing was great up until the boat, and I haven't played 15. And I played the English version of 13, and that came out a long time ago. I like their rhythm. That's the rhythm game. Dissidia is also good. That's their fighting game for PSP. That was really fun. And then they did like an arcade thing. I don't know. It's on Steam. I don't think it's very good. They're kind of like they're going crazy with Final Fantasy VII right now with Integrate and Interlude and I don't know what. I had a friend explain it to me because I was like, I just hit me up with the just spoil me because I just want to know. And I kind of got the gist of it and I was like, okay, I see. Yeah, FF7. Won't play much today. I got a headache mid-game in my Jakiro game. I'm sorry to hear that. Moves. You played with Lear GG, that's probably why. I do not know why you're playing with him. He is. I know he's, let's say, polarizing. He's bad people. Lear GG is the kind of person I can't stand. He is very, very rude and he's very, very obnoxious. He has a bad reputation for a reason. He's kind of like this whole chippy person from Han. It's not the actual guy? Is it not? Okay, fair enough. If it's not the actual Lear GG, then there you go. Because I was gonna say, don't play with the actual Lear GG. There's like even his. Okay, so usually like countries have like, you know, pretty tight knit community, somewhat. Like Denmark, Sweden, in particular, Britbongs. Germany is also one of them. A lot of German players, for example, know each other. And from what I've overheard, pretty much most people really dislike him because he's just very, very, very rude. I can't remember when I played with him, but I remember I played Lifestealer and he played AA. And I actually did a mistake, he was right. But he freaked out and basically ruined the game from that. And he just screamed and everyone was like, holy shit. Like I've never heard a person scream and shout that much. He was like, literally, you could hear the saliva being spat out from his mouth. He was yelling at the top of his lungs. Way more. I was like completely like, I kind of disturbed. I was like, wow, okay. And I basically, for the sake of it, people were like, do not mute him on stream. And I laughed and I didn't mute him and he just kept going. Nowadays, I would have just muted it. Because I was like, yeah, content, but... I know he's divine now. He's very, very bad. He is not very good. He has ego problems and he, you know, is rude. I'm more surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why he's as low as he is because he gets LP. Like he is one of those people where there's actually no way. Yeah, I think we can all agree that the behavior system is bad, but I don't even think as bad as it is, he can actually maintain even 10k. Not with how he acts. Like, I made a mistake on lane, arguably. There was like a combo back then. It was like more than 5 years ago after all. I just remember the game very vividly. And I was like, dude, yes, my bad. And he just wouldn't stop. And he just gave up after that. He didn't die or anything. We missed a kill. And I did say, like, dude, this is like, generally, this is my mistake. It happens. It wasn't on him. I just played it differently. And he just gave up. That was it. That's quite literally it. That one missed kill made him give up. It wasn't even like 2 minutes into the game. And he had given up. He just ruined the game. And I remember that clip got posted on Reddit. And bonus point was that Reddit was agreeing with them. They were like, oh god, that Ellis is really bad. I would have grieved too. And it's like, do you hear what you're saying? Like when you type shit like this, are you there in your head, right? Like who actually, I don't care what your reasons are, you don't get to grief because like you don't agree with someone like that. Like that's, never mind you not liking me because I made like, and it wasn't even really, it wasn't a misplay. He basically wanted to do a combo and I hadn't skilled into it. That's not fair to everyone else, right? Where do you get off ruining the game for literally 3-4 other people? Because you get slighted for something, right? Lair GD, right? That's what I remember. And that's apparently his thing. He's known for being that. Kind of cool character. And he's German, so that's a that's a bonus. He'll yell in Jesus. He'll yell in German against you. Sorry, I have a dick in my throat. Give me a moment. It was many years ago, though. All I know is that he got a very, very long Twitch ban for some really bad words on stream. Yes, there's also that. He is also openly racist. He is that kind of like edgy gamer type, but the guy is an adult, like in his 30s. He's basically, when you think a dumpster Dota trash, like the guy I mean in Dota, where like they flame everyone but themselves, they will ruin games at like anything going wrong. He's like the embodiment of that. Like he's almost like a cartoonist caricature of like the worst kind of Dota player you can have on your team. Like he's not just bad to play with, he's unpleasant. Like he makes you feel uncomfortable because he acts so vile. It's almost impressive. That's not good. I've heard stories though. There's a lot of NA players in particular. That's my mid player was like top 10, 20 on the old it was like IX Mike's ladder, and he had the stories of like the worst people to play with was, would you believe it, Mason and Fear, he said, were very, very obnoxious. Fear would be so toxic too. Mason and Fear, he said, were the two worst. Now, Fear, I think, might have toned it down a lot. Mr. Clinton Loomis. I think he's kind of like aged into it. I don't think Mr. Glitty has toned down at all, considering his whole arc the last 2 years. If you don't know, he got banned and he started crying on stream and said he would reform and everything, and he's back to being openly racist and good times. Also, I think he's paying Russians to boost his account out of player behavior score. I don't know. I couldn't imagine. And he did suck the glissy. that is funny. That's actually not against it. Like, I actually defend Mason on that one. There was a clip that made me laugh on stream where he was just being autistic for some reason. I don't want to say that. He's a weird character. He was just being weird and like doing a bit on stream, and he took like a glissy, which is like an American, like, what was it called? It's not like a hot dog. It's like the sausage. It's like an American sausage that's like made very, very badly. It's called a glizzy. He just took it and he like sucked it like it was a dick, right? That was his thing. He just whoa, that was it. And he got him banned. And the meme was like, yes, Twitch, the streaming website filled with hot tub streams and goodness knows what else, kind of like erotic porn going on. But the guy sucking the glizzy very enthusiastically gets banned. It's like, it's true. He shouldn't have been banned from that. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing? I think the guy should be banned for a lot of things, but sucking affectionately on a hot dog should not be it. Oh, God. Because it comes off stupidity or fake stupidity? I mean, smart people can be racist, but I'm pretty sure it's like a trait that is more present in lower intelligence. Absolutely. Also, I'm just like, again, I'm not racist, so I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, that's the thing. I can never really get racism because, you know, I'm just not. Like, I don't see someone from a different ethnic background than me and then start hiding my wallet or something. Like, I don't. It's just another person. Ooh. Mike doing it. Wait, but what is with all these people? No, this dude, I'm seeing all the same people. This guy was definitely in a game with Daniel, I'm certain. Dude, it's, I swear on ranked, it's just it's like the hyperbolic time chamber, but like 100 people went into it. It's just the same people. It happened. We were playing unranked for a month at a time, and I kept meeting the same people. I think I had 12 or 20 games with one guy. So strange, because in ranked you will not see the same people. Not all the time. Especially because you also have a void feature, right? Here's generally, if you play a week of unranked, you'll be 5 games with the same person, I swear. When I was Guardian, you just learn people. My favorite was when I was smurfing. I had a high level smurf that was like pretty much like numbered games, and I kept running into the same guy, and after the 5th game he just added me and we just chatted, and we both were Danish, which was funny because we would just like land on each other and we would just go like weird mode in chat. We'd go like ooh, 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 and just like start saying Danish stuff, just let's go in him, ooh, 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 like stuff. And then he just added me, and we just like then we added each other's main accounts. And because I was asking him, "What's your main account?" And he's like, "I'm like 10K." I was like, "Yeah, okay, it makes sense." Very wholesome. Don't think he plays anymore. I remember he wrote me something that made me laugh. He just randomly writes me while I'm streaming. I did the calculations. I wrote back, "Oh yeah?" He's like, "Yes. If I win 4 games a day without losing, then I will get top 500 leaderboards in a month." And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Go ahead and do that. Here comes Mike. That is, it's not that hard to do, but it takes practice. Landing the Whirling Death as you pass through. If you mistime it, it doesn't, well, connect. Swear, this one is so obtrusive. Man, if I just win all my games and I don't lose, I'll get immortal. Can't argue with that. Reminds me of the game we played where someone quoted me because I was like so focused on the game. I was like, "Oh no, guys, this is really bad. If we lose the game, we lose MMR." And I just said it with a straight face. Back to back, I sound kind of like an idiot. The dazzle thing? You mean it's all? It's very, very huge. Lawful protection. It's like 2,000? 1,800? Yeah, it's longer than Blink Dagger, I think. 1,600. The in-between. That is longer. Blink Dagger is 1,200. Well, max blink distance if you overshoot a Blink Dagger after all. Is the hero basically. Yeah. It's you could the way I look at it is it's Muerta ultimate. It's just Muerta ultimate. Like you cannot do anything. Well, I mean you could kill Muerta ultimate, but it's a bit like it where, you know. Actually, technically it's the same as her old parting shot which they took from her, where you shoot the soul out of them. That's effectively the same thing Dazzle has, he just does it on himself. With some benefits to it. Because the way Parting Shot worked was that people could still toss spells the same way Dazzle can. And it was their main bodies which took damage. I agree with Momo. You just see the illusion and then kind of be careful. Like doing things. That's not gonna work. If he chases him. Yeah. Like I said, that's not gonna work. It's very not smart. Timber is one of the scariest heroes you can go in on. You better hope, or you better have like the math down that you're gonna kill him before he reverses you.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Remember?
Radiant structures are fortified.
Gotta. Also, you have an ancient camp down here. It's honestly so important.
Tower is under attack.
Tempesty's dead again. Worry. Well, on this monkey, of course.
Tower is under attack.
I should still be dead. Here comes the Q.
Your middle tower is under
Unless you're owning. Pretty much what Momo was saying. And they, like I also said, they buffed this area here. What was it? There is 500... Okay, and I took the median here. I think it was someone did it already too. I took the median. So, this isn't Xaxes. This is just the median of all the farm you can get. There's 540 in the main jungle, but there's 6 camps, so you have to farm all of them. There's about 498/500 here.
tower is under attack.
Or is it 480? I have the exact number saved somewhere. And there's slightly above 500 here, in this area.
Bottom tower is
So the biggest farm you can have is the main jungle, but you need to be able to clear all 6 of them. Then other than that, it's this, and then it's here. But the main difference is the hot tub is much better than it used to be because it includes an ancient. It used to be much worse than it is now. The main thing I want to say is that it feels less bad when you're not farming here. So what will happen quite often when you play safe lane is that your off lane also wants to farm here. So, you know, you want this, but your off laner is farming that, and he maybe needs that to reach his tempo items. That's kind of been changed because you can kind of just farm an ancient up here, so that's nice. So, and these two camps are very close to one another. This is entirely a small camp. If this was a medium camp, these two would be, this would be exactly the same. This area here. This is a small camp.
attack.
So, small, medium, large here. It really should change the icons. You can barely see it. Like this is a large camp, this is a medium camp, this is a large camp, and this is an ancient. That's also why there's more farm here, because there's 4 here and 4 here. What? What's bad about him? Oh, he has diminishing returns. That's not the one you take, I think. I mean, I played with the other one. Maybe this one is good at a high level, but it's not the common one, let's put it like that. Look at them go. Yeah, it is hard. Like, not having a ward here is so nice. Well, I really like that they've removed a lot of these. Like, there's also this one gone here. I really like it. I like that getting wards has become harder. It makes it easier to split push, but it also makes it scarier. Because it makes it easier because enemy can't find you as easy, but likewise, you also can't have as easy defensive wards. So it's a give and a take. I also feel like that's really why Anti-Mage's win rate has gone up, for an example. He will have an easier time being a nuisance if the player at him is good. And especially the critical part here is that the player is very keen on what's going on in the map. Because a good Anti-Mage is all about preferably waiting until the last second to leave. Like, if you're farming here and about to hit tower, and then you do a backstep and you move back and blink out, and as you're doing that, you're just predicting they're already porting in, and they are, that's huge. Because now they're wasting their time, they won't kill you, and you're going to keep farming. That's peak Anti-Mage, basically. Is doing that correctly throughout the game. Now, the Anti-Mage you'll normally have, he'll be washing himself down here. Even better is he will not be washing here because Anti-Mage can't take Ancients very easily. Even with BF, it's hard. Go, Mike! Mike is very, very deceased, though. That's unfortunate. Mike is getting slightly upset, I think. Mike is wondering where his RP is. I wonder the same, because he has a blink. It's 16 minutes in, and he rushed it, so you have to assume he rushed it for a reason, because otherwise it makes more sense to go Echo, because then you farm faster, but hey. Also not blinking around, so... Let's hope he's closer to Tempesty's skill than Mike's skill, because right now, I gotta be honest, I don't like what I'm seeing. Also, clearly they want him to play the game, it's pretty obvious. How many smokes are on base? I can't see. None. Wait, I can see enemy smokes? That's gotta be a bug. As in, like, there must be... Like, this can't be right. I'm not meant to be able to see enemy smoke. As in, I don't think they have two, right? Is what I mean. Not like it's bugged. More like, it just shouldn't show anything. I'm extremely over this. Worry.
Your top tower is under attack.
You have to carry Mike. You're senpai. This is the Japanese way. When you play with an underclassman, you must not. Like, you have to, put your best foot forward. That's how it works. We study the blade, that's how it goes. You pay for the food.
Your middle
Set a good example, my dude. Mager. This is giga risky. There's gonna be a monkey flying in here any second, I swear. Does he have BKB? No, not yet. Well, he could have had it now. There's gotta be a monkey here, right? Well, then Undying is stupid. There he is. Why is he not in the tree already?
your top tower is under
There he is. The boy. Oh! Finally! It's just a bit late. But hey. That is better than before. Lo and behold, when Magnus actually shows up, things can kind of like happen for Timber. Cool high. He is cool high. That's right. I got corrected. Well, I said English underclassman. You're absolutely right.
has fallen.
It's true. That's why Mike didn't write anything. He's mogging on. I spoke to his soul. But yeah, I'm excited to play. I just need the input delay to be changed. I don't plan on be playing tomorrow, but that's because it's Sunday, so hopefully it's fixed by Monday.
The enemy's top tower
Like, I haven't even really played any offline, like off-stream, sorry, games, because I want them to fix that input delay pretty badly. It feels weird. But that Void Spirit game I played was the most obvious one. Christ in heaven. Doing a double time rift, what was it called?
your middle tower is
Ultimate.
under attack.
It felt weird. And I don't like it. It scares me. Nice. Whoops. Always bot matches? Yeah. But I'm good. That won't really give me anything. You can play local and it'll fix it. It's a server issue. I have already looked around on the map in demo mode. You can demo the huge map and there's no lag, so it's not the map causing it. It is some kind of coding or server related issue. It is, I am pretty damn certain it's server. For some reason. If it's like code that it's deciphering and it's just like making it muck up, I don't know. There's something happening there. But again, like if you have input delay, don't worry, it's not a you oh my god. It's not just a you problem, your enemy will have it too. I wouldn't be surprised. That's also partially why. I mean, I say partially. No, he was bugged, but I could see a hero like Dragon Knight getting half, maybe even a % more win rate because how easy it is to play. So it doesn't really matter too much. Duration is bugged or shadow nerfed. They changed it. It's been fixed. They just fixed it, at least according to them, unless they didn't fix it at all. But we got like a fix note coming in today, and that was one of the fixes. It wasn't a shadow nerf, it's unintended behavior. So either it's been fixed, or they said it was fixed and it wasn't fixed. I don't know which the answer is, I just assume the notes are correct. It wouldn't be the first time where they write we fixed it, it's like, no you didn't.
Your middle tower is under attack.
It's sad because I saw in the Ember footage, but I almost always eat at least 1 or 2 trees. Because I almost always bring 3 branches, so
Tower is under attack.
it was not working. We can very quickly find out. It wasn't working yesterday, so it should have been fixed. We can very quickly check. I'll just go back in. Good question.
The elements of my nature are in torment.
Prepare for battle.
It's been fixed. You can see it. Been fixed. So you don't have to worry about that. See? That's why you come to the stream. I figured, like, hey, it could have been bugged still. They're improving the game. I said they would. Bloomer mode. Now we just need the input delay. That's... I said from the start, I can handle bugs. Heck, I'll even take a Midas buff, whatever. I mean, it depends how gross it is, right? But input delay is just something that makes me particularly sensitive and like, It's the number one thing I feared with Monster Hunter was that game, they've been designing a lot around frame generation. And frame generation is very magical because it just gives you frames out of almost nowhere. Except frames don't come out of nowhere. There's a give and a take here, right? It's like alchemy, it's like brotherhood, what is it called? It's one thing for another. Frame generation is usually at the cost of taking from your physical performance, which means potential input delay. I do not want to play Monster Hunter with even a slight second of input delay either. I would rather have the game look like a PS1 game than having even 0.01 delay on something. I don't want it.
Your middle tower.
It feels terrible. For the same reasons as it feels terrible in Dota. It doesn't help that I'm extra sensitive to this type of stuff. Like, legitimately, if they were like, someone was like, there's a temporary fix, if you lower all your settings down to thingy, it stops it starts working. I just do it right now and then turn it back when they fix it. No problem. I don't mind the game looking ugly. The game has input delay? Yeah. Input delay is just one of those things that makes my toes curl. Like I said, yesterday I played my TV has like an ecosystem thing on it where, and I didn't know that because I got it for free. Someone was gonna tell us. I was like, I can take it off your hands if you want. Like, yeah, sure. I was like, cool, free new TV. And it has like an ecosystem mode where if it's on, it has input delay in games and stuff. And I had to go in and configure it so it's on game mode because otherwise there's like a 0.2 or something delay, and I could feel it, especially during menus when you're tapping through menus in a game. Like, I'd need to equip a character with something and it would like it would feel so bad. Very easy fix. This is probably not as easy a fix. I very much doubt it. I mean, it's server related. And hey, once it's fixed, it's going to feel really great to play again. So,
Your top tower is
as I said from the start, this was intentionally done by them, because now they make you they make you really want to play because, you know, You never know what you had once you don't have it anymore, right? As they say. AC. Honk. Just vibrating here. Hopefully that's an illusion. Not the real deal. I'm starting to think it might actually just be the real deal. I didn't see if he walked or he popped away. That must have been the real deal, yeah. Wondering if he had an illusion rune or not. There's the boy. Silly little man. Here's the thing, I don't at all think this is broken on Dazzle. I think it's good, but I refuse to call it broken. There's plenty of downsides with it. I actually think it's pretty... I think it's pretty well made. Goofy, you just have to get used to it. It's the same animation as Parting Shot. Straight up, where like they're tethered the same way. They just use the same graphics for it. That's a nice RP, but your Timber kinda doesn't have any mana to really help you. And before Magnus gets mad here, it's like, brother, it was a good RP, but you don't have resources to make it work. Mike is still hanging around him. Now Dazzle comes out, they gotta be careful. I mean, you really can't port here anymore. This right here actually is probably, I don't know why it just dawned on me now. This is probably my favorite change to the map actually. There's no longer an outpost. I mean, I knew the outpost wasn't there. This is so good for diving tower. I mean, they can port on a tower, right? But you could port to outpost and you were completely cloaked and whatnot. And it was a very, very good way. For example, if I was pushing here with Brood, people could port in from behind. It's literally not a thing anymore. They'd have to port down here and then take this. It's a very good change, and it actually favors... I've seen a lot of safe laners complain about how like it feels worse to play 1 now because the map is so dark and it's hard to get vision. That's not entirely untrue, but I think this is to the carry's benefit if he knows what he's doing, especially if you play something like Anti-Mage or Monkey that has good movement. Much more important? Exactly. I really like it. Because it was a bit too much, and it was kind of necessary due to like the way Roshan worked, where he was situated. But now that he's on mid, it's not as important. It just means like mid tower is more important. Also arguably outpost, because where is outpost located? Funny enough, pretty damn close to Roche Pit. So I actually think this is a much more strategic and interesting map than it was before. The only thing I'm like not a fan of is the whole water thing here with 30 movement speed. That's about it. Like they also need to refine some spots and whatnot, right? But strategically speaking, I think this map is a pure upgrade from the last one. And yeah, I saw a carry on Reddit complain about it yesterday and it made me giggle a little bit because again, it's to your benefit, you're just not aware of it. Well, that's my argument anyway. You just need to have some decent awareness. It's the awareness part that usually is the failure aspect there. Return on these rivers. There's no debuff on them. There's only a positive thing. Oh, there shouldn't be a debuff, I should say. Like, they literally wrote in the notes that there's supposed to be no downsides going up against it. Just only a buff. Bubbles. So he just needed to like, he still got it. At least that's what the note said. You will get a continuous buff for running, but there will be no downside to running against it. It's a character that appears over your health like a buff debuff. Oh, like that. Oh, that I don't know. I haven't noticed that. I gotta be honest. That I don't know. That sounds more like it's one of those like an oversight. Like as if it's not intended to happen. It's just a bug. I literally haven't noticed that, gotta be honest. That does sound a bit wonky. Go Mike! He still will not get that reference. Get loose with it. Let loose with it, that's the meme. But yeah, I'm warming up to the new map a lot. You just gotta get used to it. I do think from a, like, you know, initial standpoint. Plus, again, I did, the whole meme was like, everyone was like, are you okay? You were pretty damn despair on the first stream of the new patch, and now you just like it? I'm like, yep. Like, how? Because I willed it into existence, that's how. I used a very, very powerful technique that I will not explain in depth, but fear is the mind killer. That's all you need to know. Poor Mike, he is not happy right now. That looks goofy. Whoop! They need to make a sound, like they need to give it sound. It definitely needs very unique sounds to it. It's gonna get it, don't get me wrong. This is what I mean with like the patch feeling underbaked. Yeah, I got bored. Yes. I can tell. I pretty good at picking up vibes from Dota players just by watching how they move. Like if someone jumps 1v5, they're either bored or they're insane and bad. But playing support is way less fun. I need to find a dude. I don't understand playing sub on it much. I mean, good, because like playing supports were having too much. That sounds weird. Like I want supports not to have fun. That's not what I mean. It's more like supports were having too many benefits last patch, in my own opinion, anyway. I think it was way too support favored for way too long. What are my vibes, Fab? I mean, I played one game with you. You're competent. You strike me as someone that thinks critically about the game and have a lot of opinions. You watch many. What can I say? I like the way you play the game. It's active and critical. Critical players are my favorite players. Also aggressive players, but again, if at any point a person goes 1v5, that's just, you know, what's wrong with that? Some people do that. You don't go 1v5 though. That's a different trade entirely, if people get bored. That can also happen to me, but not it doesn't happen in ranked, but it happens in unranked if I get bored enough. Same thing as Mike. I'm way too similar to Mike in some aspects. It happened in the Klinks game I played with Tempesty. I went in on him here and I was like, this is way over aggressive, I'm just gonna go for it, and I died. And I literally said to the team, I was like, sorry guys, it's just I'm honestly getting bored. It was true. And what made me bored was I had an Underlord standing cross map not doing anything. He could just support it in and the play would have worked, but he didn't. So I went for it anyway because I was like, I'm not in a mood of like watching an Underlord AFK play with a portal. So, and in ranked I'll just suck it up because my points is in play. That's what I mean though, that's a critical thinker. Like some people play Dota on pure emotions and they don't think at all, and that's bad.
Middle tower has fallen.
Like people that are able to decipher and think very, I use critically too much now, but think very openly and very thoroughly about things, preferably in a fast manner, are the best kind of players in my opinion. Like when you can start weighing the upsides and downsides of every play you make, there you go. You've got it. You've got it. It's not easy. It comes from experience and it's generally really hard to do because you have to keep a cool head. Like, for an example, in the Ember game I played with you, we're talking 1 second off on my decision making here or there can either get me killed or get someone on my own team killed. There was a moment, because that's the video that's coming out on YouTube, where I said, sorry, Tempesty, I got you killed, because I chased another person for literally like 3-4 seconds. Meanwhile, Tempesty was getting numbed by Lundred. Now, there's no guarantee I could have saved him, but there's a potential I could have saved Tempesty by going back and trying to help him with Lundred, and I didn't get a kill on the person, so it was kind of pointless. So, it's stuff like that. Being able to like decipher that you could have helped your support and it might have gotten him, you know, saved. That's it. Or you could just turn off your brain and not give a damn. That's also a viable option. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That went so close to going well. There he comes. Go, Mike! And again, they don't have this. This is a stress play. It might work, though. He is 25. Actually, nah, this is absolutely gonna work. Absolutely gonna work. Back at Bristle. Even Bristle, I think, honestly has like... Bristle has like a weird thing where it's like... this is a good play by him. He has like... coordinated stupidity, I call it. Like, you need to play like a lunatic, but a somewhat smart lunatic.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's
At
middle
8? Nobody got 8.
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
I don't want to hear that ever again.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, it's why you'll hear me say stuff like, this guy's a denier. What's a denier? Because I come up with all these terms like piggy support and all the stuff like this. And it's actually, I think the reason why I do that as a player is also because I... you know, it's kind of important fight going on here. Use your BKB, little man. Not really on Monkey's team, but it's more like, come on. See, this monkey's hesitating a lot. He's still not using his BKB. Ouch. Yeah, when I played competitively with my position 4 friend, I mean, like, we were an entire team of Danish people, but I have a very close connection to my position 4 friend because we played so much together, we could practically hear what each other was thinking, which is an incredible feeling, by the way, if you play with someone like that. Oh, it's close. We came up with the idea that we needed terms for a lot of things. Like, you know, for example, we have ratting, that's a well-established terms. So we just came up with a lot of, like, sayings and stuff. And to this day today, I still do that. So when I say this guy's a denier, I mean, like, that's me saying this person, this player I'm facing right now, prioritizes denying more than the average player. Usually I find that DK players are deniers. They'll use a large amount of their focus on denying. That... Ooh! Owari. It was a nice play though, but Owari. Man, if only, if only. Mukashi, Magnus. That was so close to going well. But yeah, like, a denier can be good or bad. If you get denied during an entire lane and lose because of it, that's bad. But a denier can also be, you can use that against him. For example, if I'm against a denier as Visage, I kill him because that means he's focusing on aggression against me, and then he's taking a lot of right-clicking damage. Some people just have different archetypes to them, and I try to figure out, especially during laning stage, what kind of person they are. For example, the Emperor footage I have from the stream that is being put on YouTube today, I said, and I didn't really have like a keyword for this guy, I just said this guy plays Kez. My implication was I play Kez too, Kess players run at you and will not back down. It's a bit like Slark or Ursa. People that play these heroes rarely will play very reserved. They'll just like, I'm this hero, I play, you have to play defense. But if you one-up them, they won't back down, which is to your benefit if you know that you can kill them, because then they'll die and feed. That's what happened to that Kess and me and Mumu, is that we just killed him, because he would go on Mumu when he couldn't, because I would go on him if he went on Mumu. Or he would go on me wanting to harass me, but I'm an Ember that was like stronger than him, and he would get out thingied. But the guy has an archetype of, I go on you because this is how I play, even if it doesn't work. That's just how some people play. There really isn't a whole lot more to it. And that can really bring you down if you play like that on every hero and in every circumstance. You might play a hero that has like a peak on their lane at 3-5, but then you play giga aggressive at 1-2, and you lose the entire lane because of it. I did that recently with Daniel, no less. Now, Daniel likes to take all the blame on himself. Had nothing to do with him. It was me. I played Axe, and at level 1, I tried to dive, and it completely mucked up our lane. It was on me. Daniel will take the blame, and like I said, it was not his fault. I should not have conditioned him into playing aggressive around me because we didn't peak at 1. I just played bad. We won that game because Mike and I came back in the game with Axe, but I lost the lane because I played too aggressive. That's not me just being, you know, altruistic. That is literally what happened. Like Mike, Daniel could have played, literally done nothing different, and the lane would still have gone that way because I was playing like maniac. Most of the issues came from the lack of main drop on Kez. Even then, he would have had a problem though. The thing is how the guy was playing. When you are behind or when you are not in the driver's seat, you can't pretend to be in the driver's seat, right? It's kind of like if you have a moment. Oh. Oh, buddy. Man, this guy does timber on occasion, right? Satch. Yeah, I can't think of like the worst matchup in the game on the top of my head, right? But there are some pretty bad matchups, yeah. But for example, let's say you're playing, what's like a melee hero that doesn't do very well on average? Like, let's just say you're playing Voidspurt against Huskar. I'd say that's pretty sad. Now, if you're a bad Voidspurt player at that point, or you have a special archetype, you could just say, screw this Huskar, I want to play aggressively against him too, and then you die. Because you can't enforce that playstyle because you're upset. Or you could try, you'll die. The fact of the matter is, you are playing against a hero that will muck you up, and you can't rewrite that into you now kill him. It's just not how it works. You have to like find a different way to win against him, which usually comes from, in that kind of circumstance, you want to persevere, get what you can, and get to level 6, and maybe get a gang up. But you can't enforce an over-aggressive playstyle because you'll just get mocked. Some people just cannot enter that stage, I think. Like, it's kind of like a, how do you win lane? Well, I'll play aggressive and kill him. What if you can? I'll try anyway. What if you can't? Well, then it's over. It's like, no, it's not. You need to think of a different solution. Say what you will about Dota and me saying the game on average has gone more, like, less intelligent than it used to be. You still have to make a shit ton of decisions like that. Again, like I said, my favorite type of player is someone that can think critically. Dude. Not gonna lie, when I see that, it looks fun. I did this mistake yesterday. I griefed a lane in a high average game. I was too aggressive for no reason. It happens. It happens to all of us. The important thing is that we can acknowledge when it happens. Like, for example, I also don't like when I'm getting out-aggressed this Visage at all, because with Visage, I am in 95% of my lanes in the driver's seat, because it's Visage. It's what he does. But there are lanes where I will over-push my boundaries. I'm like, no, this is just bad. I cannot do this. There's just a little part of me, there's a little boy inside that's screaming, this isn't fair. GG, GG. There are two wolves inside of me.
Your middle tower has fallen.
Mad at everyone. Me probably everyone.
Your middle barracks
It's so back, holy moly. Played against it, thrown axe, felt unstoppable. It's funny you mention that because I was planning on playing Sepulture Visage when they fix the game. They overbuffed Sepulture for sure. I don't think they should have buffed it with 25%. I think they should just have increased the radius back to what it was. It still would, then it still wouldn't be better than Deathstall, but yeah.
middle tower has fallen.
That's good though. I prefer to play with Sepulture in the first place. I don't like Deathstall. So. 45 minutes? Yeah. What it is what it is. Vini Vidi Tenul. I came, I saw, I failed. More action. I would literally just play with the other one now. I'll prove why when we can play the game. But that's because the Sepulture was also my bread and butter. How many are playing? That's the Brit Bong stack. I could encrypt this in chat too. This is the Brit Bong stack. It's Mist and Gleet and Corey and him I actually don't know, and TTM I don't know. And they also play with Chigov, and they play with, I don't know, it's a tight-knit community, those guys. Mist is really cool. He's super friendly. He's a super cool guy. Corey is... Damn, Corey is 2K? Huh, the meme in Reddit used to be Corey Dota. Damn, if he's 2K, that's still pretty impressive. My mid player loved to play with him, but he said he comes off very strong. But he's not like a bad guy, he just comes off very... He's a bit like Mike, basically. He's basically Mike, but he flames. But he doesn't mean it, he just gets into the moment and literally excuses himself. He's like friendly. Gleet, I don't know that much. And Mist is Mist. Look at me knowing people from other ends of the earth. Literally neighbors. It's quite literally cheaper for me to take a trip to London and back again than it is to take a train ride. FYI. Airplane tickets to England is nothing. It's kind of crazy. Win or lose, just saw that. I didn't feel like dealing with Meg anymore, so I solved the issue. No. Cool times. We also have Dane stacks. Kind of like Sing Sing stack. You'll meet that one eventually when you play enough. Yeah, I do plan on playing Visage, and I did see his win rate is kind of going up again, which is funny because his pick rate is going down. It's going a little bit here. They just need to fix the thing. And Visage is particular one of those heroes I do not want to have any sort of input lag with. He's very finesse. That's all. Delicious. You push so fast with Sepulture, it's nasty. Like, let me make an example for you.
Prepare for battle.
We would have... I mean, let's just say it's my new build. It's probably going to be something along these lines at least. And then Shard, but we don't have to buy that. And then Boots as well, of course. Maybe Beauty, smile. Yeah, maybe actually. We'll just leave it at that for now. I still feel like you need this. This one is a tough one, I think. Well, I mean, they took the other one. They moved it up here after all. Lurker stacks. Lurker is weird. Lurker's really good, but yeah. The thing is, it's one of those things that are very hard to play around. I talked about a facet or something being active or inactive. You basically need to play like you permanently have Triangle Boots, so you don't lose Lurker stacks. So when you're farming, you kind of don't want to get hit by a creep, because it doesn't care if you get hit by hero or creep. Lurker just checks if you got hit or not. Grants a stack every 2 seconds that Vicious does not take damage. Each stack grants 2%. So stacks fade for 2 seconds after taking damage. So technically you can get what's that? 8 more reduction. I would probably take this honestly on average. I think this is good under the right circumstances, but Jesus, playing into it is toxic. It's already bad enough with 8 lurker stacks. Having 4 more is like, yeah. Look at that.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Tell me that isn't strong. Innate doesn't signify. You mean the lurker stacks? It purely is like when you're just running around the map. It also helps when you're like resummoning birds faster and stuff. But no, you completely lose the innate in every fight you're in. There's no way you don't lose it. Like someone has to like sneeze, and a small part of that hits you and you lose it. But you will consistently have quicker familiars, and you will consistently get higher Gravekeeper's Cloak once you're out of fighting. So there's that. And you will farm faster with Grave Chill. Again, assuming you don't get hit, of course, with Lurker. So. But it is very weird to play around. And again, 4 max Lurker stacks is a bit... It goes up to 12 now, so yeah. It's just a weird one to give him, I think. Again, not bad, it's just very specific, and it's open to like you not having good value out of it. If they really wanted to nerf him, they could take Soul Assumption and hits 3 targets away. That would hit him hard. And I still think level 20 plus 1 armor corruption to Vicious and Familiars has to be one of the worst talents in the game, because you're basically getting 3 minus armor. That's it. That's it. You get 3 minus armor at level 20. That's it. That's crazy bad. Technically, you could make the argument you get 1 more if you take Familiar at 25, but Jesus. That is one of the worst ones, I think. Like, if it was 2 minus armor, then at least we can start talking about it, because it would be 6. But even then, I'd be like, it's very specific. Oh well, it is what it is. A lot of people in game, not too many people playing. My nose is cold. Still very, very cold outside today. Let me actually see if I can show you what I meant with like the lobby thing. I'm 16. Probably release a video in an hour or 2. You can already see it, right? It feels bad. So,
Prepare for
already that.
It's not time yet. Deep ones guide me.
Yeah. It's missing inputs randomly. It feels heavy. I don't have that. You're lucky if you don't have it.
Look to the foe.
It feels like they fixed the animation on it. Is that a your thing? Maybe? Because Counterstar did, like, it's definitely server based. Also, notice how weird it looks when he does this. I have it too. Most people have it.
30 seconds
Ugh.
to battle.
It feels very weird. Like, so you can see it, like, the guy on Reddit that, well, there's two people that posted footage of it. You can see it when, like, especially when you move around like this, you can see how there's, like, ever so slight delay. Like Stockholm? I did. I've tried multiple servers. Stockholm is the same. Brazil is the same, but with more lag. It does not feel great. Need to fix it. Champagne Super Svalbard. That's a good name. That's also something some people have. Some people just have better names than others. That's one of them. Oh yeah, these are the heroes we prepared. We have Burl Boys. Token grinders. Actually, what is Lycanthrope right now? Mama. They didn't really nerf Alpha Wolf that much. Like, just 2 seconds is like, it's a nerf, but like, it's like, still wouldn't play him. At this point, it's like, why play Lycan when I can play Visage? Straight up. Especially now that they've buffed Sepulture, basically. And if Mumu said, like, Brood is doing really well. Funny enough, I like her Aghanims is even worse now because at least before Aghanims was like, well, you're playing a universal hero, so you get a lot of stats for it. Now it's like you get even less. Very roundabout way they made it worse. Your scores? Your behavior scores? If it's a Brood draft she owns. Every Brood is a Brood draft if you know how to play Brood. Smile. Whoops. Also looked into Brewmaster. It's been a bit. But I think it's crazy I'm only silver on him. That should show how long ago since I spammed him. Saw Daniel play him. Doesn't look all that appealing. Biggest problem is damage. Yeah. Multiple games. Oh no, oh no. Is right. Can we actually see the win rate of Vaganat go down in real time? Well, he's not, he's actually kind of like not up there anymore. And yeah, something about Meepo being busted. I saw Duck play him. He just, the new facet strikes me as being incredibly OP if you know what you're doing. I should play Meepo, but I'd have to go through the whole training arc, and he's gonna get nerfed, so. This is why I learned Visage, so. And hey, playing Sepulture Visage takes a lot more skill than playing a Deathball Visage. A lot more. A lot more. It's a lot more about critical positioning and just, you know. The other one is just spamming W and getting extra kills. On the Discord? No. I don't know what, maybe my laning? Your laning is fine. Also, you asked, was it yesterday, if I saw the deny you did? And I just got done with the video where you're in it, like the Ember game is being posted today. I know why I didn't see it. My camera wasn't seeing it. Like, you can see it on the footage, I panned slightly to the left, but I was going for the... Like, my camera was panned in a way I couldn't see what you were doing. Because I was looking at both Wisp and Guy's movement. Mr. Kiss. That was a fun game, that one. Hohenheim Ember, dude.
I am in the spirit.
That one. Excuse me. Strong. He's definitely just a stronger variant of Void Spirit, I think. Like, Void Spirit kind of lacks damage. Ember definitely doesn't. Ember has damage in spades. We saw a pro game. Mumu was like, well, they're doing Slardar mid now. I was like, alright. I'll play ball. I want to see what's happening here. And I said, Slardar, I saw Ember mid versus Slardar. I said, Slardar's going to get tossed a new one. His salad got tossed, alright. He got manhandled by Ember. Because Ember shits out damage and Slardar really doesn't. And Slardar isn't very tanky either. And they nerfed him, so... With DD, right? Sure. Go right ahead. Play one game. I need to like pretty much like watch one game more before I'm done streaming, so hey. I need like an hour of content here. Instead of just like talking, just yapping. Because I wasn't planning on playing myself until they fix input delay. The moment they do, don't worry. We'll be there. In 5 minutes. A while. I take a coffee first. Smart. Well, it depends if you get wired like I do. I have to go to the bathroom too much. It's why I say, guys, stream's big now. I have to go to the bathroom badly. I also really like Klinks. Klinks is also one of those heroes that play extremely well around the new map because he's extremely good at split pushing, for one thing. My Klinks win rate should be much higher than this, trust me. Much, much higher. It shouldn't even be below in negatives. He is not this bad. Klinks is honestly well above average, I think. I'd say he's a 51% win rate hero at least. But there's a lot to him. I did play him one game, but that was this one. That was the game where I said to Underlord, I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest, I'm getting a bit bored here. How many lasses do you have? Only 200. Not that much damage for an Underlord, though. What was his rank again? Fair enough. That nowadays is like 2.5k. What rank is Herald then? Minus something? I don't know. But yeah. I think the most positive thing I can say about this patch is I think that the map is better made. It's more strategically impressive. And I like that because I've been saying I want split pushing to become more meta. It kind of has, I feel. I need more experience with it. I've only played 7 games. It's kind of also why I want to play more. And especially I want to like play heroes that really benefit from split pushing. We just need that free TP gone now, and then we're talking. I just want people to... I want it to be more punishing for people to mass teleport more than anything else. And especially last meta, it really wasn't. You'd very often get rewarded for it. And even if you didn't, you could just get, so much more anyway. You just farm. Between like them cutting movement speed during nighttime and the outpost being taken away, I can really feel the difference, I feel. Because I played with Daniel and Inkrypt, and we had 2 games that weren't looking very good because we had a bad... I said we had a bad safe lane, and I played safe lane, and one of them stands to reason it was a bad safe lane. I shouldn't have played Void safe lane, but I did. But we had 2 games where we were playing against TI players. We were playing against people that were going as 5, very old patch style, and they wouldn't stop doing that. In one of them, we had a... What was it? Was it an anti-mage? We had someone that didn't show up, or Slark or something. We just had a position 1 that just didn't show, and I said, we have to like do something. We can we can't keep fighting into them. It won't work. I wish we could, because I think it's a play, but we can't. Like, you can't 4v5 and you will just feed and lose, right? So in that game as SB, I went Midas, which was a bit overkill, I think, but I went for it because I was like, I think this game is going to be long enough to justify it. It was. But I just focused all my attention on split pushing waves and keeping the game going, and it worked. Because most of the time when I did that, they had an Axe. Axe would rotate to try and kill me. Never worked. And when Axe rotates to try and kill me and it doesn't work, it means he's not farming, I'm farming, and now Axe isn't killing anyone on my team. That's really good news. I did exactly the same thing in a Void Spirit game after that, where the enemy played exactly the same game. It felt so similar. In the same playstyle, 5-man moving around, smoking, going like, tier 1 into our jungle, mass port mid. They just never did not daisy chain, kept the game going. They became underleveled, and we won. Now, obviously, this could also be because like people aren't used to playing on the new map, so they're just not as good at punishing you for playing like that. It stands to reason that we need more time to figure it out. But those games were more interesting because I felt I got rewarded more for playing strategically and forcing their hand than I would have had last patch. It's just the vibe I was getting, and I liked it. Feels good. Feels good when you aren't being forced to 5v5 every game. That's what I despised about 737. 737 very much felt like we've drafted ourselves into a lineup that can't fight them now, and now we lose. Dota was, in my opinion, at its peak when you would go into a game and be like, what strategy are we running? Not what heroes are we running. There were way different strategies. Death push was viable. Split push was viable. Team fighting was viable. It was like almost like a rock paper scissors. I feel like especially last patch was we both go rock and whoever has the better rock wins, and that's not very interesting. So if we are starting to get a little bit more paper going into that circle, that's very good and healthy for the game. Will be a bit longer for me. We'll see, because I don't think there is anyone I can spectate. Tempesty can play a game. We can judge Tempesty. Remind me again what we... I have positive win rate with Void on my main. That's surprising. We had... I don't even think it wasn't like people were playing. It's just that they were going as 5. Yeah, right. They just ran around with DP in this. Like, Ursa and this guy were like tethered indefinitely, and these two were running around using their ults on towers. So... I wouldn't be surprised if as... Wait, how much farm do I have? That's very bad for a Void Spirit. But then again, Void Spirit farms like shit. He really does. He farms so poorly. Because Dissimulate doesn't kill creeps anymore. I mean, lane creeps, yes. It's very low last hits. And that's a Mythic hero, by the way. He's not like a Persistent 5. We're still playing Lamau. In the Ember game we played, I felt like we did the... We kind of like did the same thing, but it was more like I had the pressure in that one. Because we were playing an anti-mage down, as you can see. Like, this is what we were playing with, 0-6-1. And I was running away with the game. But I was farming more than I would have liked to, and I even, in the clips I might have cut it out. I don't like sounding, not toxic, but like, when I stream, I speak my mind. I'm like, I speak my inner thoughts, like, I definitely have said something like, this anti-mage is very bad, we need to carry for him, right? And that's not a nice thing to say, it's the truth, though. It is very much the truth. So I spent more time farming than I would have liked to have a bigger shot at winning. Going Crusader. I like him. I think Dazzle's strong. I don't think he's broken or anything. I think he's strong. Actually, I don't have 40 games with Dazzle. Huh. I think he's one of the most interesting support heroes. I mean, this is one of those. Again, less damage. But he has more health. He has more armor. He hits faster, and he has a lot more intelligence. But his damage has taken a hit for it. Well, I mean, his right-click damage. He will also attack faster now, so, you know. Tilde. And they buffed. I would say, you'd have to ask Encrypt. I'm not like a Dazzle boy. It's easier to ask someone that actually spams a hero. It's why I said, like, if you want to get good at a hero, one of the best things you can do is, like, well, practice that hero, right? But seek out information from every place you can. Like, YouTube videos, Reddit, people that spam that hero. I said this to Mike, that one of the coolest things I ever heard, it was actually my friend that told me, was during the 2016 era, they literally had like a small Discord group for just Timber players. There were like 5 or 6 Timber players just sharing strategies and like stats and tidbits. Like this interaction against this hero, stuff like that. And apparently they've been credited to just like boosting the hero's like proficiency because of that. I think that's really cool. Like you have a very closed Timber club of Timber spammers. Vessel facets, what the hell? Is it bugged? Probably. Dota has bugs right now? No. Not at all. Again, that's what I did with Lycan technically. I just didn't have another Lycan spammer around, unlike my friend. Well, except for my friend is what I wanted to say. Him and me both practice Lycan together. So. But I didn't have anyone to really chat Lycan with his new facet because no one was using it. And a lot of pros was using it incorrectly because they were going Helm. And I said on stream, this is not what you do with this facet. You might just as well honestly go the other facet then, because you will get so much more value out of Helm. And sure enough, the build ended up becoming the very same build I theorized, which was just Rush Midas to get 11 fast. I'm not saying the pros ripped me off. Obviously they didn't. I'm saying they came to the same conclusion I eventually did, where it's like, you definitely have to build him differently. Because I had a high win rate initially with building treads fast and actually playing him aggressively, but it was kind of like, he's still not a great laner, so it feels more like I was just winning lanes where people were just being bad at the game. So that's not so much making Lycan good, it's just I got lucky. But rushing Midas and playing kind of like a slow game was giving me a lot more. Funny enough, it became the de facto build. Still is. I don't feel like there's a whole lot else you can do different with him. Sure, they buffed the thing for him. It sounds a bit more appealing to get a OOC on him now, but it's still heavy impacting your Midas timing. And at the end of the day, Lycan is just not a particularly strong hero, especially during lane. Even in mid game, it's like his ult is very, very underwhelming. His wolves, of course, on the other hand, for a brief time anyway. Did you know gaming, dude? Also like Mirana now. I haven't really played with her, but I like what they did to her. It's gonna be curious. Just do not start with boots, please. It's so bad. It's so bad. There's no excuse. I mean, to be fair, this is pretty low level, but like I see people in my own games doing it. It's bad. I honestly can't think of a single hero where you go boots anymore. Maybe Clockwork or something, for obvious reasons, but that's it. And even then, I'm like, man. ES, even ES, I'm like, man. I mean, he is not very good at level 1. But you just lose out on so much potential damage-wise by going boots.
Battle begins.
He's playing with recursive, yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I think that has to be the best point first. It has to be, because it's still percentage. But you definitely don't max it anymore. You basically have to. You either go 1-1-1 or you go 1-2 and then 1 and then max Splinter Blast. You need to not put more points in queue. Again, how much is it again? It's 4. And then how long? It's 5, yeah. So one hit will do what? 90, 130 damage? But only one hit. It doesn't reapply, by the way. Let's see. Again, I took the base damage into account, which is very poo-poo now. Like, holy shit. It's crazy to think that if this was old Wyvern, he would have, what, 55 damage now? Her right click is just in the shitter after the change. I mean, that's what happens when you go from universal superiority to intelligence, not superiority. She's a much better hero this patch, but her laning has taken a huge down hit. But again, as I said, paid back support, right? If you have a support that can actually win the game by landing a ultimate, a bit like Lich, then there you go. Also, she's still very safe to play. I need some tangos and pronto, or he's gonna feed a first blood. Like, yeah, he has this, but really, gotta be careful. Also, 2.2 region is insane. She definitely doesn't have any mana problems, and it only costs 50. It's so weird to see so little damage on Wyvern, but that's how she used to be too. It was only when they actually made her a universal hero. Wyvern used to be one of the worst initial laners, I think, besides Arctic Burn. It's when they made her universal plus Arctic Burn, it was like crazy. Again, you can't do this, but... Also, I like to cut these 2 trees a lot now, as a carry, if I have a fellow. Or eat them if I'm a support. It feels nice, you can just go... Also, thank Christ they saved this. This is one of the best changes. I say, does he not have jump? That's the third. It's so nice to see people not getting one-shot by Putch anymore. Again, he would have died 3 times over if that had been Player's Hook. You guys know that, right? Speaking of one of the best changes the game has received, that is one of them. Player's Hook was just not a well-designed ability. It just wasn't. I'm sure if you played Putch you found it fun, but it wasn't well-designed. You should not make a hook that is just longer and does more damage on travel distance. It is just not good. Again, it's based on current health, not max health. If it was based on max health, the ability would be broken. So, you have to remember this keeps ticking down. And there's a huge difference between whether you have like 400 or 600 HP at that point. It's 12 still. You can have it reapply indefinitely, but then you need Agnums. But again, that still doesn't change the whole, you know, current health situation. Oof. Looks like Ember's getting bopped mid something fierce. Dude, Decisive is actually doing things. You're not a Smurf, are you? No. He's pump faking, dude. What the hell? At this bracket? Bit more region, not gonna lie. I mean, he doesn't even need to parry region, but he kind of actually doesn't. But if I was him, I would have skilled W at level 2 to increase the offense, because that's, you know, and then parry region, it would have been better. But he doesn't need to because he has like a high amount of region and he went here. They ideally need a ward here pretty badly. I'm not sure if, yeah, if I was him, I would buy a ward. Probably situated right here, so it looks here and here. Can also start cutting trees, of course. Also sit it here, but I think it's more open to getting seen. You can also start stacking this. They don't have a hero that can steal this. Putch will not be able to, and Medusa can farm it very safely. It's an ancient right next to her thing. But again, it all depends on whether you can afford to leave lane or not. Also, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how many calculations Valve make when they change map things like this, but if you're pulling at 48, so unless you're playing like Shadow Demon or Wind Ranger, or something, you can't pull this and stack at the same time, right? You can't. So you have to like make a decision. Speaking of decisions, still sad they made this. Looks like Mirana is. Yeah. What is that? Okay. That's how that looks, huh? Limao, not even. This is huge still. She isn't even paying attention to it. Well, that's a good way to get ahead. Looks crazy. Yeah, the glaives, they're huge. If so, you mean the glaives. Oh. Also, I haven't found out whether or not I like playing with the new this one here. Obra Venom. I think it's potentially good, but it's very specific. It's cool that it builds into Mage Slayer, of course, but it's very specific, I think. Because it gives no stats, and it's pure like, you know, it's 30 damage though every 9 seconds. That's a lot. That's a lot. Like that does a lot for you, especially a support that pokes a lot, or even a carry. Like that is so much that you can take favorable traits with another support a lot. Because support wars, as we call it, it's usually Tempesty goes on Mirana, Mirana goes on Tempesty, and then it's like a game of chicken of who backs down first, right? And usually someone will back down, and then that person will get more shots. If you have an Orb of Venom, you can go forward, hit her, she hits back, and then you leave, and you will do more damage by a significant margin because you have Orb of Venom. Is she boring here? She's pretty boring. I think she's become more interesting thanks to Gorgon's Grasp, but she's pretty boring otherwise, yeah. I agree. That's not gonna do a whole lot because well, Pudge is stupid, so that helps. Let's say once her mana is down. Ooh. Also, hey, as Pudge that actually buys Ring of Protection. That's interesting. Oh, he has this one. Okay, no wonder it's going poorly. Why the hell does he not have the other one? Fresh meat is kind of shite.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm not sure why they gave Tide this, by the way. He was already strong enough. Again, that's a recurring theme in this patch, is that heroes that were semi-top tier or downright top tier before, you know, Abaddon, Tide, Nightstalker, they not only did they not really get nerfed, they kind of got buffed in some aspects. Like, Tide did not need a buff. He was doing just fine. He was like one of the better offlaners. Like, I think Dawn is one of the only heroes where it's like, yeah, she was like arguably the best offlane to a certain extent, and she got kind of like soft nerf, but not too bad. She got like some small nerfs her way. Then you have Tide where they buffed him, despite the fact he was sitting side by side with Dawnbreaker. And again, you have Abaddon where they was just like, nah, he's fine. So Abaddon is still top 5. Le double impact. How many wards are available? 1. I hate that they can't seem to fix this. 1-7. Playing support is weird now though because there's so many sentries. I feel like I have to spend more money so they don't go into overflow. Don't quite like it. I don't like having wards all the way up at 6-7. It makes me feel nauseous. It's also why I keep doing it. Like whenever, if I ever play with anyone not buying wards or sentries, that's why you'll see that always before 5. It's because I'm buying them. And either I will plant them or I'll just drop them because I hate when they... It's the same as mana, right? People not using their mana makes me go... why sit at 100% mana in lane, right? That's exactly it. It's just inefficient. Plunked. This time she is indeed dead. They really gotta change that. That was close though.
Your middle tower is under attack.
There's as if. You might want to finish your food there, but he just felt like not having that. Also, you might also want some boots. Just brown boots. They're very, very slow. I think most people, if they go cast aggressive, would probably go Kaya and like brown boots Kaya and then BOT. Play a bit like Olena, but that's just me. I don't know what to do with the Zero either, to be fair. As in, like, he is very, very not good right now. After he was broken tier for a long while, right? But right now, the hero is kind of in a... He's actually higher than I thought. I think he's in a weird position ever since they messed up Lasting Presence. Again, he was horribly broken, don't get me wrong.
Your top tower is under attack.
Oh, careful, Tempesty, with that. That is one of my pet peeves if I play, by the way. People that are dead and telling, like, using spell. You have this, it's like, don't. It's just not. It's not good. Like, I'm luckily not someone, at most I'll just mute you, but you have people that will literally ruin games when you do that. I don't know, but he doesn't have boots. He's going Blink next, which is ironic because his movement is shattered. He's gonna lose the game because of it, by the way. He was doing so fine on mid, but he traverses the map a lot, but he does it very slowly because he has no movement speed. Like, legitimately, if he had just had... It's one of those, like, let's think critically of a game here, right? What increases farm speed? And what increases your potential as a player? Well, getting from A to B is pretty important, because if you can get from A to B faster, you can A, farm faster, B, plant wards faster, C, fight faster, D, escape fights easier, E, escape ganks easier, CD, blah, 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 help your allies faster. You can basically, it's like coffee. Drink coffee, do stupid shit faster. Get movement speed, do everything faster. You locking yourself at no movement speed is very weird. Like, what usually limits your farming speed, depending, of course, isn't how quickly you can take down a camp. It's how quickly you can move from camp to camp. I mean, that's untrue, right? But that's what, again, makes Anti-Mage so good. He has a blink. So if you just blink very efficiently and you blink, you swap your boots, you are much faster than most other heroes, because we have to assume, for the sake of argument, that every decent player goes at least brown boots, but usually upgraded boots. But even then you can't compete with Anti-Mage's speed, because he will be faster around than you are. Is why I said when I played Magnus, it's like, don't look at my Magnus, it's bad. If you want to see like a Magnus farm well, watch Arteezy play Magnus. That shit looks crazy. He is consistently blinking and MOMing everywhere. I'm not sure he's still playing Magnus. I remember I saw a game with him like a year ago. I was like, Jesus. No wonder this guy achieves like GPM out of like thin air with how he's playing. And is he useless right now? Well, yes. And this isn't even a fast blink dagger timing, because he went Kayayasha. Again, this is pretty low level, I know. I'm just saying, we're looking critically at what's going wrong here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And it's all a big shame because he was destroying Embermint. Well, I'd say destroying. He wasn't killing him per se. Maybe he was, but
Tower is under
he was lane dominating. He was making sure Ember was low level.
fortified.
So he lowered Ember's value as a player by, shutting him out of lane.
Tower is under
And all of that has been mitigated completely now. Like, sure, he's higher level, but he hasn't done anything yet. Ember's starting to put pressure
tower.
around on the map. This guy's waiting for his blink. And he's still going to be slow after he gets it. So it's like, respect it? It's nothing to respect here. It's just a misplay. Very strange. Not even brown boots is very weird. Like, if he had gone brown boots, I would have been like, okay. I mean, I think I would have gone up UT faster than Yasha and Kaya, but not having any movement speed is just, look how slow he is. And remember that they just nerfed this. He doesn't move faster during nighttime. No wind lays and no, boots is weird. He is him, you're right.
Your middle tower is under attack.
But, yeah, the guy can pump fake, which is insane. He can actually pump fake, but he can't build correctly.
Your middle
This is a case of like a player that understands a pretty, I don't want to say advanced, but I'd say like someone in this bracket doing that is pretty damn advanced, but then your build order is weird. He's also doing this stuff here, which doesn't actually matter because of how it's coded, but yeah. So he's doing all these weird things, but then he is incredibly inefficient movement speed wise. I forgive him. He won't. There's no way. That's exactly what he does the worst. He doesn't buy correctly. I think we're dealing with what I call a one-trick pony. Like, now Tempesty, can you please tell this guy, like, ask him if he can please buy boots? Just brown boots will do. Like, I'm actually getting triggered. Like, it's so bad. Like, I figured now he would get him, but no, he's still... I think this guy is planning on going bootless for some reason. It's very, very bad. And I don't... Here's the thing. Now, to be fair, I don't think even as much umas as I give the players I play with, I don't think people would be dumb enough to do this on my game. And if they did, I don't know how I don't know how I would package that in for them. Because if you tell people what to do, they won't do it. So I tend to like do, well, I call it soft positional bargaining, which it's not, but I tend to package in what I want players to do very softly. Like, for example, if I say, can we do some smoke gank soon? That's me. That's basically a very roundabout way of me saying, guys, we should really smoke gank and you guys should be buying a smoke because you're playing aggressive heroes. Now, some people will catch up on that and others are just tone deaf and will not. Because they'll be like, I didn't know you were talking to me. You are a Magnus with a Blink Dagger, with RP off cooldown. You are AFK farming. You are shitting all over your own timings. You're shitting over my timings. When I ask for a smoke gank, who do you actually think I'm referring to? I can buy you the smoke if you want, but like really you should do it because you have the most income. And you are a person that wants to smoke very badly. Just saying. And completely lacking something else? Yes, actually I agree a lot with that assessment. Like, his laning was pretty damn good, but his decision making and especially his itemization is awful. Like, his itemization is like 1k because of it. Not having boots has brought him so far down. It's insane. And it doesn't help that we know for a fact he's not going to use Blink Dagger to blink around and farm faster. Because look at that. If you're not buying boots, you're not going to actively use your Blink Dagger for anything but getting kills or running away from people. Right? Okay, I say that. Never mind. Then he just proved me wrong. But okay. That's the first time he's blinked to farm. Let's see if he blinks in 5 seconds to get closer to a camp. Let's see. No? See, I would have blinked right here because he's probably going to go up to farm this, right? Or is he going to go for a kill? No, he's wasting some time. He's wasting some more time, and he's very slow. Holy shit. He's gonna farm something, right? So here's the thing. He could already have blinked, and it would be off cooldown here again. So this is just very inefficient. When he stops... Oh yeah, he's typing. This is so slow. This actually hurts to see. I can lift him. He's like, yeah, I'll get it after BKB. Ah, yes, the infamous BKB before Brown Boots SF. That's a tried and true one. Also, he really doesn't like using ultimate. That's not on this guy, though. I have never seen an SF player understanding how good Requiem Souls is to just help people. Like, they will not do it if it isn't a kill for them, basically. That was, the idea was there, the timing was completely off. So he basically let Tempesty die, and then went in to die himself. Now granted, in his defense, he couldn't save Tempesty there. It was impossible because there was a BKB. That was never going to work. But he should probably just have poured it out immediately and let Tempesty die and started farming immediately. Nice. He did buy Brown Boots. He bought Brown Boots. That's good. Like, we might have made this guy a lot better by just poking, you know. He didn't check BKB timing? No. Ah, this is gonna be roughly it, right? Ah, right? Something like that. And see, this is why Jenkins' content is good. I'm not sure if he still does like low-level replay analysis. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Dude, look how much faster he is. Look how much faster this dude is because of it. 50 movement speed, sorry, 45 movement speed faster. I keep thinking it's 50. It's huge, night and day, dude. Is Ravage a curse? Yeah. I don't think, I'm gonna make one prediction here. He's gonna whip a ult because Tempesty has recursive. Watch me. I guarantee it. That much I guarantee. If Tempesty lands a recursive and that guy is there, he's gonna whip it. And I've kind of been... Even before knowing how he played, I would have guessed that. I just saw him whip this, so he's definitely gonna not understand how recursive works. Well. Sayonara, bye-bye. No good. Here comes the hook. He could have waited for the Monkey King Q, but, you know. Rough game. Owari. I mean, I hear like they could throw it, but it's pretty rough. Yeah, you Unique Glimmergate post haste. And they've also nerfed her farming. Well, she still farms waves really well. And hey, Boomerblast isn't bad at farming creep games, but again, it's one of those like the bigger the stack count is, the better. I think your best option would have been to stack this early, but again, you were never really in the driver's seat in this, and I don't think Medusa knows there's an ancient camp there. It's just a guess. I agree with Mumu. Well, I mean, I think you need Glimmer, no matter what, but otherwise I agree. I think you need to not get Shard, I think you need to get Glimmer and then Blink. Otherwise I agree with Mooms. You need to land, the only way you win this is if you land something. Sadly, I don't think there's a particularly great target for you to ult and kill. Well, I mean, there is, but Monkey is like the best damage dealer you have for you. Like, if you can kill Lion with it or something. It's more like Punch is not like that, because he also doesn't have the facet for it. And Mirana doesn't do that much damage. It's your best shot, though. Like, hopefully you can line it up for this guy who is a bit special. What makes you... Oh, now he's blaming the lack of words. Again, is he wrong? No. But it's one of those, like, glasshouse kind of things Brother in Christ, you ran around without brown boots for 20 minutes. You don't get to complain. Like, you just lost that privilege, I feel.
Your middle tower is under attack.
It's like, that is such a gross mistake on your part. You shouldn't be flaming the lack of wards. Oh, he popped PKB for that. Ooh, this is kind of risky. Alt punch, yeah. Yep. This is good. Stun the MK, yeah. Medusa ulted. Like I said, hey dude, your team is not gonna play into recursive correctly. Monkey's crazy. I mean, this might just work though. He's very far ahead, so it's gonna work. And SF is very underfarmed because he focused on farming, but he didn't have movement speed, so yeah, he doesn't really have any farm either. Like I said, get movement speed so you have stupid shit faster. But you're also talking to the type of player where if I have a free spot, which I rarely do because I fill up my inventory and my backpack way too much, if you've seen my stream, if I was him, I would probably even have bought a Windlace just for more movement speed.
Your bottom,
Like, the dude didn't have anything, he went straight into Kayayasha.
your bottom tower is under attack.
Dude, I play Medusa. I like Milk Toast. That's not her good one either.
Your top tower,
I just noticed he doesn't have the new one. The Dominoes, that one.
your top
Ah, how can I explain? I can explain by this drawing. Ear
your top
of
tower
pizza.
has fallen.
I'll finish this game and then I'll cook some food. Yes. I'm not sure why I turned into a Skaven, sorry. yes. That is hot. That's gonna be recursive. It sadly took that one. Ooh, hello. Could really use a vessel against Monkey too. I mean, you should not 100% agree with Mooms. I can't swear. The shard has to go. The shard is good, but it's not going to do anything for you. You need Blink ASAP. Like, this is just not a shard game. Your team... It isn't justified to your team, and it's just not going to really do a whole lot. You need Blink. I'd even make say you should opt out of getting it entirely. So as soon as you're done with Blink Dagger, you should get something else. Like, I don't know, Witchblade, I don't know. It's kind of a hard game.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Veil.
Dire's structures are
I know Veil on Vibrant, but like you just need to like get damage done with that ultimate and get set up.
Bottom tower
Problem is gonna be Monkey King.
has fallen.
Man, now I kind of want to play Wyvern. Try out Recursive for myself. I would build her like a killer though. As in, like, we're talking... I'm not sure I would do Bloodthorn anymore, but I would get Parasma, that kind of stuff. And they did just nerf MOM speed by 5, which was a weird nerf. I don't think the item was busted, but again, balance this time around has been very weird. Take it up with the guys over at Valve HQ. Don't look at me. I'm just a player, wanting to play the game, if there wasn't any input delay lag. Patch will fix it. I'm excited to grind though. It'll be good. Good mindset. Yeah. Get in there. I was also kind of hoping, like, I, again, never expected them to do this, but if they lowered the GPM and stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff I want after all. Well, technically, you have, again, with less movement speed, especially during nighttime, you can't farm as fast, yada, 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 yada. It all, you know, comes out in the end. So I have to get used to that, trust me. I'm like, ugh. Plus, I swear, the numbers on this thing has to be off. I swear to God, it's harder earlier than it was before, and it shouldn't be. I ran the numbers. But maybe it's just because like people are trying also to take it to 15, so that could be why. I don't know. No, he didn't. I'm actually mad and bad. You're okay. What was it I said? If you took Dota seriously, you could make it? That's because you said you saw a visage guide of me and I asked, like, what's your age? I saw you play. And you said you're like 15 or 16, and I said, dude, if you want to be good at Dota, you can make it. Ooh, I actually kind of like the gunpowder gauntlet here. And splashes. The splash isn't gonna do. Well, actually, no.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
It's still good for farming purposes as well. Also, again, this needs a sound. It looks good, but it needs a sound, just like anything. It's so weird. It's stuff like that that's like remarkably absent from this patch. Make it, yeah, make it burf. Make it sound like a dog burf. Anything really.
The enemy's top tower.
Ooh. Sucks. Yes, Blink though. Now it really does be. Actually, I think, technically speaking, Ember could die if Monkey's next to him in particular. It really is about, like, Monkey is the only one you must not ult and not even argue Pudge. Lion, Mirana, and Ember are very open for killing here. Again, obviously, Tilda rather. Oh my god. It depends a lot on, like, where people are located, because obviously just ulting them doesn't net a kill. But I can almost guarantee you Monkey's going to be in a tree. So make of that what you will. Also, yes, if Monkey's in a tree here and you ult Mirana, Monkey will jump down to kill her. For example. There he is. Also, he has an Aegis, so you really don't want to, in this case, waste it on him. Gotta be aggressive with it too. Like, for example, if you see Lion next to Monkey here, you just jump in and ult Lion. Right here. Actually, this is so tempting. But Pudge is Kika tanky, so that won't work with the shield on though. Like, that's the thing, you just kind of have to go for it here. It's important to fish. And it almost has to be Monkey in particular. Like, you ult whoever Monkey's close to. Like, I could have seen myself literally smoked by now, and I would have gone up here and ulted her, and she would have died because she would have been next to Monkey. Oh. This looks not so good. This looks very Krongo to me. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful with that blink. You need to have that ready at a moment's notice. Right, I forget I have my spectator things. I have spectator settings, but my this keybind works when I'm spectating, not when I'm playing. I used it for last thing, so. That's not quite it. At least he's out of position. He might actually die from that, but that's not quite it. Yeah. That's fine. That's absolutely fine in the end. Don't Jujutsu Kaisen too hard, my boy. Reset. Kitty Kairu. The monkey. With what? Your... I can't swear. I was about to do a Sopranos reference again. With what? Your effing toes? You didn't have ultimate.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is good. Turning out pretty excellent, actually. That was not a great thing. I mean, you burned the BKB, but it's very over-aggressive. That was not Medusa's fault. That was your own fault. That was. Do not blame that play on anyone else. That was a very bad move by you. Your team makes mistakes too, but that was a very bad move by you. You cannot blink in like that. I was just about to say, if you had blinked in and Cold Embrace, it would have been good, but Cold Embrace was on cooldown, so you could not do that. So, i.e., the play didn't make any sense. Plus, you already died here having Glimmerclave on you, so you must know that they have vision from some source. There's probably a sentry somewhere here. Oh no, oh no.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That one I don't blame on your team. I blame it out on you.
Radiant's
I'm usually on your side, but
killed.
this is how we get better. Gotta be critical. Gotta be stern dad Bashi. Bring the whip. Sorry, the belt, not the whip. What are you, a horse? I'm becoming a jockey here. You're falling into why? Yeah, I'm just saying, don't go looking for an excuse. It'll make you worse. It's a very, very defensive mechanism. I do it too. It's very... You don't want to do that. Oh. Oh, spaghettos. This is okay. This is not okay. At least just buyback. Gotta be careful here. Oh, Aldon Mirana there. Oh, that's gonna work. Well. Remember when I said SF was definitely gonna mess that up? Well, it turns out it wasn't SF. Ironically enough, if you just like sent the ult past them, it would have been better because they would have been tagged but not stunned. Well, that's not ideal. Guys, this is not Daijobu.
Is under attack.
And I don't like it.
Your are under attack.
Get one more shot. Damn it, yeah, that was unfortunate. I actually generally think you might have actually killed Lion. Not 100%, but it looked like.
Your bottom tower is under
You get another shot though. Oh, 10 seconds. That, on the other hand, is a very good ultimate. Okay. Okay, we in there? We in there? Trust me, this is like a hard game. Because if I was Wyvern in this, I'd be like, I'm not sure what I think the play is. As in, like, I know what the play is, really, but, like, more so from an itemization standpoint, it's like, how do I increase my own yield other than just buying aura items here? Because, like, it feels like you have all the tools necessary, which is literally just your blink. Like, your impact in this game comes 110% down to, can you land a good combo? And if you do, it's great. And, well, you can hardly buy anything to make it easier, really. You can buy cast range, but that's not necessary. So basically you're playing Sectrio. You can't grind yourself out of this one. You just gotta play good.
the enemy
That's a good thing.
tower has
You're being tested. This is risky. This is Jimmy. Again, I really like this ward I found out Mumu planted here. This is really a good ward spot. It's definitely gonna get like Deboarded a lot, but again, gotta just go in there and ult someone, I feel. Plus level 18 is like insane. More movement speed now. I swear I've seen more and more people do Aeon Disc. Granted, I'm also a bit surprised by that one, because the cooldown of it is so punishing. Like, you think BKB is punishing? Oh, it is, but god damn, dude. The cooldown you lose out on Aeon Disc is massive. It ends up being, what is it, like 3 minutes? It's crazy. Wait, what am I saying? It's way more than that. No, okay, no, it's not. It is 3 minutes. A little bit more. Roughly. Actually, it's slightly less. Sorry, math is hard. I know. I'm a kindergarten person. What can I do? I played Dota. Brain rot. Honestly? A refresher also looks tempting, actually. Refresher would actually be sick, but it's a weird... nah. Like, actually just go all in on Parasma. Because you just want to help with the chains as much as the chaining as much as you can by doing a lot of damage. The thing is just, yeah, the damage on her isn't very high anymore. So I feel like you have to search for it elsewhere. Dare I say, if I took over, I think I could, like, sweep this game. A lot of power with this blink. It's fun. This is a fun game as Wyvern, honestly. It's exciting. Okay, yeah, jump in, jump in. Oh, one of them. Oh, it's too slow. This is not it. This is not a pepper. SF is saving the day at least. You're too hesitant. You're too hesitant. Need to just jump in, not be afraid. What was it I said, like Goose liked? It's better to do a mistake. It's better to do a bad play fast than hesitate. Like, yes, it's gonna suck when it loses you a game. It is. But you're teaching yourself to move. Ooh. That saved her though. That was worth it. That was worth it. It's hard, I know. Like, it's very, very hard. It's like, it's why I clamped down on myself in that Ember game, and I said I let Tempesty die because I made the decision of chasing someone, whereas if I had decided better in my head, we're talking 1 second, I might have been able to save him instead. But because I ran off, not thinking, that's what happened. After another player. It's why they, we recently had like and I can't remember if No-Tail was part of it, but we had like a thing in Danish news where, the Danish national, our military was basically incentivizing gamers, in particular, literally gamers. They were like, people that play Counter-Strike and MOBAs like Dota and League, they incentivized them to sign up for pilot training. Because they found that out of all the people that they've gotten research data on, gamers in particular have very, very good reaction times on, you know, things. Which makes them very good as pilots, because you have to go, like, think fast, think fast, think fast. You constantly are put in a situation where you just have to, like you have to do problem solving, but not like the sit at a table and figure out this puzzle, like a okay, got it type of solution. And gamers are good at that on average. That's kind of like how most games are, aren't they? Guy runs at you with a shotgun, you don't get 5 seconds to figure out if he's going to shoot you or not. Okay, this is it. If I was him, I would already be up here and just looking. I probably already have Altered Punch, honestly. Let's see.
Structures are fortified.
The best thing Tempesty can do is be the first to initiate, because it saves the initiation on everyone else. I think he should even do it before Tide, if possible. Tide feels better if you don't initiate first, in this case.
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
I'm sad.
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah. I think that's the key word. I was about to go in, then punch. It's that second of not doing it. Your team's still gonna win this one. Which is worth it for the barracks, by the way. Like, no shit, this is better for you. Because getting barracks don't mean anything in this day and age if you die for it. So this was a heavy worth for you in the end. But you have to start pulling some weights, little man. You have the potential. This is literally one of those games where if I was playing, I'd say I don't deserve to win this. I'm being too stressed. Yeah. Medusa, you might want to kill this first. Medusa! Medusa! She doesn't know their permaglyph. Can you tell her that she has to kill this? Oh, he's adorable. That must be maybe one of the first times he's seen that. Oh, what a cutie. Oh my god, that's funny. He's sitting there for 10 seconds. It's like, I want to see his enemy like, boy howdy, this is one of the longer glyphs I've ever seen. It's like, I don't know. Alright, let's have it. Come on, Tempesty, we can do this.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Okay. Ooh, you want to be careful with that. Abune. It's good. Dickhead Dota, dude. Excuse me. I'm getting hungry. But we have to see if our Wyvern can stick the landing or not. It's a hard game. Definitely this is a you want to say buyback situation though, 100%. There's nothing you can buy or do that is more important than buyback right now. It also affords you the ability to mock up another positioning and then still win. Also technically die here and then ward. And they might get baited into a team fight and then you buy back and clump them. Snake Eater, dude. I mean, actually, that's Final Fantasy. It sounds a lot like Hideo Kojima. What is this build here? Where's the Shivas? This is pretty standard. Puke. Alright, let's have it, our boy. Let's go. That's kind of sad. But hey, he took his thing away and it's still gonna work. I think we are in a situation where our... Ooh, that's sad. That was very, very close to going well. That's a very sad way to lose the game. I should honestly have checked if she had a Lincoln Sphere. I feel slightly thingied. That's game. What? So this is a game where literally you could quite easily have won if you just performed better. You literally didn't land a good ultimate, I think. There's one here that got blown up by thingy. I saw. It was unfortunate. That's why you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful where you blink in, because you might just be in the stun range of everyone else, and that's exactly what happened. You blinked in exactly where your teammates were going to be, and Monkey queued. So, had you blinked 45 degrees differently, it would have been different. More like 90 degrees different. Like if you blinked here, you wouldn't have been. You could have gone bonk bonk like that. Too bad, but it's a learning. You stand to learn a lot from that game. That's the thing. Don't be sad you lost that. Be happy. You stand to. That's a game you can learn a lot from, because that was very, very positioning prone. So that is on the shoulder side for Wyvern. I mean, she doesn't shit out the same kind of damage she does. She did back then. You'd have to land like really good ultimates too. Come on, back to that. Probably still is ultimate, isn't it? Yeah. Even through all of that, it still was ultimate and I doing the most single-handedly. Satch. Actually, what is the de facto most common build on Lava? In a while? Winter Wyvern, 55.5%. You don't say. I wonder why that is. Yeah. Actually, people actually tend to take Cold Embrace early on her. No, interesting. Okay. Actually, it's kind of split. Oh, the thing up there is wrong. The actual ones, let me just bring you guys here. The actual one seems to be more like 25 takes. Yeah. 35, 40-ish take Cold Embrace at level 2, the rest don't. That doesn't mean like there's a better build. That's just like if you need this, you need this. Because like this is not, this might be the most common, but it's not what most people down here that's winning do. Glimmer Shard, that really is the most common thing. But yeah, always Blink Dagger by 20, roughly. Yeah, I agree. Full build sequence. They actually get Blink Shard before thingy. I think it depends a lot on the game. I think if you achieving a quick blink and getting a very important kill or just 1 or 2 kills with it is better because it will feed into your Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape will probably not feed into you getting a quicker blink. And it depends, because you might not die because of it or you might save a core, but still, it depends on whether or not it generates you income so you can get your next item, basically, right? So, again, this really does look like Ringmaster almost. This is kind of like the same stuff you do on Ringmaster because, like, you know, what else can you do? Well, the reality is you can definitely, like, buy more aggressive items on her, too. And see, this guy's trying to go for that. So, actually. And like I said, when I saw the new Ringmaster facet, I was saying, I don't think the new one is better. It seems fun and it seems good, but it seems so much more situational, and yes, it has bad win rate compared to the other one. It's more fun. It has a bike. That's fun. But Carney Classics has mech that scales and gives bonus strength. You have to have some pretty good items to outdo that. The Crystal Ball is really good. The Pie seems like a meme, and the Unicycle seems like a meme. That's the problem. The Crystal Ball is actually good. But the two others seem very memey. Not bad, but very memey. Whereas Whoopee Cushion is really good. Funhouse Mirror can be really good. That's the most like... Funhouse Mirror is the most up to debate one, but you can dodge with it if you know what you're doing, which can literally save you. And Strongman Tonic is just busted. Strongman Tonic is what makes him good with this one. You could literally switch Unicycle and Strongman Tonic, and then Sideshow Secrets would be better. Actually, a lot better because it has Crystal Ball. I think Crystal Ball is better than Funhouse Mirror, and arguably better than Whoopee Cushion. It's just Whoopee Cushion is like very good for positioning, but having the Crystal Ball lets you take over areas. It also depends whether you're behind or ahead, more so. There's a lot of what if scenarios with him. Anyway, I am going to bail. I'm hungry. Again, sorry for not playing, but you know what I'm saying. In order for me to play, they need to fix that input delay. That was not meant to rhyme. That just happened actually. So, but I hope they have it fixed by Monday because we'll be back on the Dota grind at that point. That's what I hope. If anything else, I hope you guys enjoy the patch. I hope you will have good games, and I will see you Monday. Today, or rather, tomorrow is my day off because it's Sunday. I'm gonna be going crazy with Japanese, so pretty much it. So I'll be convening you guys on Monday. Okay? Bye. Cheers. Stay safe. A good one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't get hurt. Enjoy the patch. Enjoy life. Be a good camper. Oh, bye bye.